Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabroods. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabroods, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubroods.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods. Gubroods. Gabroods.com.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445, 90-8445, 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento.
Sacktown.
And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been?
You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
Time to begin.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
The end of an era in Pittsburgh. Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Tomlin, no longer the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, stepping down after 19 years. What a difference in that division next year with no John Harbaugh of the Ravens, no Mike Tomlin of the Steelers. I'll know one thing. If I'm an owner and a GM of an NFL team, Mike Tomlin is going to be in my office tomorrow. I would hire him in a New York second. I'm a huge fan of Mike Tomlin. He could coach my team any freaking day of the week, and I would be just fine. And when you think about the Pittsburgh Steelers, you think about only 3 coaches in the history of their franchise: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Talk about tough shoes to fill in Pittsburgh. Those Houston Texans. I talked about the Texans for the first time in earnest about 2 months ago. And I told you to keep your eye on the Texans because of their defense. And I've been watching football since the early 60s. Yeah, I'm old. And I've seen some great defenses. And the game that I watched last night from the Houston Texans reminded me of the Ray Lewis Baltimore Ravens defenses from the early 2000s in particular, and somewhat of the 85 Bears defense. That's how good they are, and that's how good they were last night. They play an old-style football. They are physical. They don't miss tackles. They get to the quarterback with 4. Their schemes are excellent. Their individual talent is excellent. And I am not surprised that they went into Pittsburgh and won. I am not surprised. that they are among the Final Four teams in the playoffs because I have been on them for the last 2 months. Defense wins in the National Football League, despite the fact that it is an offensive league. When you play defense, the way the Texans play defense, it really doesn't matter whether you're at home or on the road in frigid temperatures. It doesn't matter. That defense travels. That defense can play anywhere. And that defense is, without question, the best defense in the NFL. And it's the best defense in the NFL by head and shoulders. It is that good. And the defensive performance last night was as good as you will ever see. I mean, if I had told you before the game that C.J. Stroud, the quarterback of the Texans, who did not play well, would turn the ball over 3 times and the Houston Texans would still win by the score that they did, you would probably say, no way. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense could do nothing. They were shut down. They were manhandled. Doug Christie would like that. The physicality of the Houston Texans, because that's what it was. The physicality of the Houston Texans was just, they overmatched and they just dominated the Pittsburgh Steelers. 916-779-0929. And Rahin, if you were listening across the country in the nation's capital, I am waiting for your phone call. Or Rahil, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Rahil, I apologize. Rahil, I'm waiting for your phone call because I know you're listening. I told you exactly what was going to happen. 916-779-0929. Who's going to be the next coach of the Steelers? Wow, can you imagine? Here we are in 2026, and the next coach of the Steelers will be only the 4th coach in franchise history. Wow. Incredible. Seriously. Absolutely amazing. So, the NFL. We've got the matchup set for this weekend. We're going to talk a lot about that at 916-779-0929. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour right after Grant's Rant, which you do not want to miss today. Trust me, you can set your clock to it right now. After Grant's Rant, Sean Salisbury coming up right after Grant's Rant at 5 o'clock. All right, now to the Kings. And we're going to get to a lot of this throughout the show, along with the NFL. They beat the Lakers last night, and they beat them rather easily. And that is the best 24 hours that the Kings have experienced this year, with the win the night before against the Houston Rockets, and then on a back-to-back with a rested Lakers team. They beat them and beat them rather easily. And I will say this, okay? And I have said this in the past. When you have new management, and by new management, I'm talking about a new general manager, they're going to evaluate talent differently than maybe the previous general manager, maybe differently than you see it or I see it. They have their own vision. And they are hired to implement what they think is best for the team with their vision. There are different philosophies. There are different ideas. There are different ways of going about your job. Okay, so you have to accept that. Whether you agree or disagree, that's just the way it is. However, there is a thing called credibility. And there is a thing called, like, really? And when it comes to Malik Monk, there is no defense, in my opinion, of the actions that have pretty much humiliated him the entire season. Okay, what has happened to Malik Monk, in my opinion, just my opinion, is not really debatable. Because you would lose the debate. As Jerry Reynolds has continually said when he joins me and Rhino over on our YouTube show after the games, Malik Monk is clearly one of the best players on the Kings. It's easy to see that. I don't even think that's debatable. And without Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis, he is currently, arguably, the third best player on the Sacramento Kings. With Sabonis, with Murray, Monk is still one of the best players on the Sacramento Kings. The fact that the Kings have played their best 24 hours of basketball with Malik Monk being a big part of that is not a surprise to me, nor should it be a surprise to you or really anyone else. Because the sample size with Malik is big enough that we know who he is and know what he can do. But for some reason, this general manager and this coach see it differently than everybody else in the country for the most part. Malik last night, 32 minutes, 26 points on 15 shots, 7 of 9 from downtown, and 8 assists. Now, I know it's just one game, but he also played very well the night before in the victory against the Houston Rockets, where he entered the game early, and the Kings ended up winning that game 111-98. In that game, Malik Monk was instrumental in the victory, particularly down the stretch. He played 26 minutes. He had 15 points. And again, he played very well. But what did the Kings decide to do? They decided when they looked at their roster that they wanted Dennis Schroeder to be their starting point guard. And Dennis Schroeder ended up not holding on to his starting point guard position and has since been coming off the bench. It is also interesting to point out that in the first 2 games of Dennis Schroeder's suspension, it allowed Malik Monk to get more playing time, and you see the result. Small sample size, but I think you can see what I see and what everyone else sees. So I want to get to my original point about a general manager with their own vision. They're going to mold the team the way they see fit, and they may have a different value and a different impression on a player than you, me, or Jerry Reynolds. But what it does do, it leaves open a door, not just by a crack, but it leaves the door open for questioning the competence and the vision of an individual or individuals who feel that Malik Monk is not worthy of being part of the rotation. Because if you really feel a player of Monk's stature is not worthy of being on the rotation of a bad team, then why would I have any faith or any confidence that this is going to get better anytime soon with player evaluations such as that? I would tell you this. If Doug Christie and Scott Perry were doctors, they would be sued right now for malpractice as it relates to Malik Monk. That's what would happen. That's how bad this decision has been for the Sacramento Kings. And I'm not making Monk out to be a perennial all-star. I'm not putting him in the same category as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. What I am saying is, quite simply, he is one of the Sacramento Kings' best players, and I don't think that you can debate that. And on top of that, he's one of the few players that wants to be here. He loves Sacramento. has been an unbelievable professional, and I can go on and on and on and on and on. So that is the other part of this equation. Think about that. I mean, the guy basically exemplifies the 6 ridiculous principles that you have put forward to the public for what you want with your basketball team. The fact that you had to make that public is like ridiculous. And he checks every one on the box, every one of the boxes. And yet you feel that he's not good enough to play? Seriously? And I have to have confidence moving forward that you're the guy and the organization to get this team to where they want to be when you think that Malik Monk is not one of the best players on the team? And again, you have that right. Absolutely. It happens all the time in pro sports. But you can also question as a fan and ask yourself, what are you looking at? How do you come up with that evaluation? How do you come up with that opinion on a player as talented as Malik Monk? Like, how does that work? You know, it's not like he's a problem child. He doesn't have any red flags. He's not disruptive. He's not this. He's not that. I mean, again, he checks all of your boxes. But he's not good enough to be in your rotation unless somebody gets hurt, somebody's suspended, blah, blah, blah. That's the truth. That's the reality of the situation. Okay? Think about that. Think about that. So we're going to talk about that at 916-779-0929. From the 916, here's my theory on Monk. Sabonis and Keane get hurt, and teams say to him, you're our guy long term, but we're tanking. We know what you bring. You need to see what others can do and build trade value for others so you can't play. Mike, you're so far off base, I'm not even going to answer the question. How about this from the 916? Grant, Houston had help from the officials. Really? Did you watch the game? Wow. Wow. Yes, I'm well aware that the Pittsburgh Steelers, boys and girls, were founded in the 30s. Okay? The coaches is the Super Bowl era. Super Bowl I was played between the Jets and the Colts. We're talking about when the Steelers, we're talking about in the Super Bowl era, 3 coaches. I'm well aware the history of the Steelers that goes back well before I was born. Yes, I understand that. When we talk about these things, it's always with, well, I shouldn't say always. It's usually understood that it's within the Super Bowl era, which, again, was 1969. So thank you for the clarification. 916-779-0929. Grant, I can't believe the Kings broadcast mentioned the 6 principles during the game last night at the end of the game. Embarrassing. I wasn't aware of that. It is embarrassing if that's what they did. And I don't really have any comment other than it's amateurish. And it's an embarrassment for the franchise. I said this weeks ago, months ago. All organizations, both in sports, well, I shouldn't say outside of sports because, you know, when you go to a board meeting at a big company, as one of their 6 principles, they probably don't have like physicality on the board, okay? But generally speaking, the principles that Scott Perry has made public are the principles of all teams in all sports and most businesses around the world that are common knowledge and don't have to be broadcast. It's like it's not, you know, some great revelation of, wow, we are reinventing the wheel. Come on. Stop it, would you please? 916-779-0929. I want to talk to you about my friends at DAS Mechanical. Family owned and operated since 2018. When it comes to HVAC, retrofit, and service, they are awesome. They are specialists, and they are going to do a phenomenal job for you. Now, we talk so much about, like, reviews, awards. They have it all. Nick Delancey, their owner, their business model is spot on. And right now, okay, they are doing a lot of systems from gas to all electric because it's about getting more energy efficiency and saving money every month on energy bills. Again, nearly all of the work that DAS does currently is gas to electric whole system changeouts. They're experts at that. Check them out online. Schedule everything online. D as in dog, A, S as in Sam, mechanical.org. That's DAS mechanical.org. Again, book everything online. Look at all their 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards. That's dasmechanical.org. Phone calls, text messages, and a lot more next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We've got great news for vehicle owners, regardless of what you drive, here at Downtown Ford Sacramento. For a limited time, bring your car or truck to Downtown Ford. We'll beat any major tire store's prices on a set of world-class Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. Then, we'll kick you down an $80 mail-in rebate, and that goes for any car or truck you drive. You'll get the best deal anywhere on Michelin or BF Goodrich tires installed by our top-notch service team, plus an $80 rebate. That's how we operate here at Downtown Ford. We've been selling Fords for over 100 years, and we've learned some things. Rule number 1 is to put the customer first. Treat customers right, and they come back. That's our formula, and it's why we were chosen as a Car Guru's top dealership for 2025. We are Downtown Ford Sacramento. Come see us on Howe Avenue, online at downtownfordsacramento.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Don't forget Sean Salisbury coming up right after Grant's Rant. You want to talk about the Kings? You want to talk about the game last night? Or Mike Tomlin out, done after 19 years? How about the week in that division? First, it's John Harbaugh, and 1 week later, Mike Tomlin steps down. And what is going to happen with Mike Tomlin and the future of that? Again, as I said, the Kings last night, they beat the Lakers. We're going to have a lot more on that coming up in the show. Rhino, the Malik Monk situation to me is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's such a bad look for Doug Christie and Scott Perry when Monk does play and plays as well as he did the last two games. But we've seen him play like that on many, many nights, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no doubt. He's shooting 52.9% from the three-point line over the last 3 games, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 51.4% from the field. He's playing tremendously. He is stimulating the offense, and you can't ask for more. In fact, LeBron James was asked about Malik. He knows what Malik is.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he's a spark off the bench at any given moment. He had a heck of a game tonight.
Everyone knows who Malik Monk is. I mean, again, that's my point. It's not like, it's not like the opinion on Malik Monk is really that different around the league.
Correct.
I mean, most people understand what he does for a basketball team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I spoke to a very, very trusted source about this situation, and the indication that I got from this and over the offseason was there was an evaluation period on Malik Monk after the De'Aaron Fox trade, which you remember they were trying to get Zach LaVine implemented. The point guard duties were solely on Malik, and it didn't work out really, really well. And Malik was asked to play a little bit out of left field. And there was other injuries. Guys weren't playing great either. But when this roster was being evaluated, and when you looked at it on paper at $20 million a year, right around there, Malik's number, there was a thought that you might be able to get the same production from another player at a lower number that could replace Malik's role on the team that maybe has a few more stronger point guard tendencies, hence the Dennis Schroeder signing. And that doesn't mean that they're not valuing who Malik is, but they also know that the league values him as well. And who knows if that is played into why we've seen the heavy minutes for Schroeder and the heavy minutes for Westbrook. But Malik is what Malik is. He wants to be here. He loves this team. He's swinging a golf club as we speak on his day off. And it's just really hard to understand. You put it well, malpractice. If you are continuing with the plan, knowing that there's something better there that you can play.
So how's the evaluation of the team gone to that point so far in terms of finding somebody better than Malik at a lower value? How's that worked out?
It's been poor, and it's been very different. I mean, it's really, you can point to the Dennis Schroeder sighting. They thought, Dennis was a spark off the bench for Detroit last year. He's a veteran in this league. He's a bridge guy. They thought, solid guy, which he's been many of those things, but unfortunately he has fallen into the isolation column on this team more times than not.
Yep. Well, I'll take Malik
games.
Monk over Dennis Schroeder any day of the week.
But the difference is the $13.2 million versus close to
here's
20.
the difference. Let me explain to you the difference, please. The difference is wins and losses. That's the difference.
I agree with you. And I think that is what I take away from that is trying to save money in all the wrong places. Didn't we see the same thing with Valanciunas for Saric?
Yep. Great point. Here's another point I want to make. In the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, when the game is on the line, is there any coach in the NBA, and I really mean this, that would rather have Dennis Schroeder on the floor than Malik Monk? Seriously, no. At the end of the game, 5 minutes left, okay? You want Malik on the floor or you want Dennis on the floor? Come on.
You know what? It's a great question. In Sacramento, we would say Malik Monk, but I do wonder what you would probably have some coaches that would say Dennis Schroeder, because Malik has a tendency at times to get caught in the air, but there's no questioning his professionalism. There's no questioning the energy that he brings to a game, his love for his teammates. It's just something that bleeds true. You don't want to talk about pillars. Let's talk just about what this city loves and what bleeds true to them. It's just love. And that's what Malik Monk has for this city. And they show it.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever, and I want to repeat, that I've ever seen since being in Sacramento with a player.
Well, okay. So Doug was asked last night about Malik. Check this out.
Playing to our standard, like everything about his focus, he's talented as hell, man. So defensive intensity, coverages, communicating with his teammates. Everything about him has been top notch. So, he deserves everything. He was a player of the game for us. But the 26 points, as I told him, fantastic. It was the 8 assists that was really impressive for me, actually, because he has the capabilities to do all those things. So, another great performance for him.
Really? Then why have you buried him on the bench? Why have you not played him? Why have you taken him completely out of the rotation, Doug? That would be the follow-up question.
Here's your answer.
When he gets his opportunity, I think, everyone's getting opportunities. So and when he went out, we went with Keon for a little bit. And obviously Dennis was out. So now it was both of them. Malik was, just playing really well. So we went with him down the stretch. But his ability to, defensively, he's quick enough to move his feet. And just making sure he's really smart. So he sees what's happening. He knows what's happening. Now he just has to be fundamental in those moments. When he gets out on the break, fundamental. He gets his feet set. I always think it's going in. He has a really good chance at that. On the backside, I'd see him kind of like a defensive back. He reads that really well, playing two. All those little things in these, last few games that he's played, you can see the attention to detail and the focus. And the results are, who we know that he is. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
No, it's not about the last few games, and he shouldn't need an opportunity. He's already earned his opportunity. He's already achieved his opportunity. Has nothing to do with the last couple of games. It would be the appropriate answer if you used over the last few years. We've seen who Malik is, and we know what he can do. Has nothing to do with the last 3 games, okay? It is his entire body of work since he's been in Sacramento. It's just nonsense. It's malpractice. It's a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace what has happened with Monk. It's a disgrace. I mean, if you listen to Doug Christie talk there, you would think that Malik is an all-star. You would think that he's clearly one of the best players on the team. Here's a message to you, Doug. He is one of the best players on the team. He has been one of the best players on the team. It's not an opportunity. He doesn't need an opportunity. He's past that. He's already earned his opportunity. This is a bunch of nonsense.
Yes, all those things are spot on. And Doug pointing to the small things that Malik needs to be better at. If that's the case, I want to hear more about bad shot selection by Russell Westbrook. I want to hear about guys not getting back because they're talking to the officials. I mean, we're really kind of getting picky, especially when you have somebody like Malik that stimulated the offense. When you asked me last night what I thought a key was going to be, it was 100% pace. Here's Malik on what the difference is between what's going on the last 24 hours.
The ball movement, the pace we running into things in the defensive end. We're making a lot of second and third efforts on the defensive end. Where at the beginning of the year, we only make one effort and people get layups or wide open threes. So I just feel like our effort picked up way more.
Bingo.
And you're playing the young guys. I got killed on the post-game show when I said if you play the young guys and the players that should be playing, this team will give you a better product. You will have a better team on the floor. Even LeBron, slow start for the starters, right? He's asked last night.
Yes.
Check out what he says about the game.
Fighting uphill, obviously, except from the first 8 minutes of the game, we was fighting uphill, and trying to get multiple stops in a row. But, any shot that they make, especially from three, is always going to feel like a backbreaker, especially in a late game like that.
Until the bench came in, we were fighting uphill. Or until the bench came in, it was all good.
How about that? Right?
Well, LeBron got out to a hot start, 8 points.
On
his own. It's what he does.
Yeah.
Against the Kings.
Speaking of the Lakers, they got some real issues. They're going to have to make some moves. They really do. Now, I know they're not entirely healthy either, but either were the Kings, and they're not They're not doing anything this year in the postseason. If they make the postseason, they're just not.
No, it's why J.J. Redick's been really, really harking on the defensive end, the effort. They just don't have it on that end. And LeBron, as much as you want to make fun of him for wearing a patch that commemorates his 23rd year in the league and nobody else on the team is wearing one, he's wearing down, Grant. You can see that in his play. And I mean that with all due respect. The end is closer than the beginning for him, especially where you've said this, Jerry has said it. It starts to go on the defensive end, and it is.
Has Rahil called yet?
No call from Rahil.
No call.
Rahil. Not yet.
Didn't she promise that she would call me today, win or lose, being a big Steeler supporter, and that I didn't know what I was talking about when I was singing the praises of the Texans and how outstanding their defense was. And she assured me that they don't play well outdoors in the cold and blah, blah, blah. And I said, you just wait. You just wait. You just wait. And she promised me she would call today from Washington, D.C. Did she not promise?
She promised she would call. You asked if she would call in the first segment. So, she's maybe just getting warmed up right now, taking a few shots.
Okay. Because I know she's listening.
Ramp it up.
And I know other
Stretching.
people in D.C. are listening because she's told me that we've got a number of people in that region of the country that listen to the show. So if you know Rahil, if for some reason she may have taken a bathroom break or gone to 7-Eleven or the pharmacy to fix her heartburn and upset stomach from the game last night, I'm okay with that. But make sure you get in touch with her and tell her she needs to call. The number is 916-779-0929. By the way, I ended up going 4-2 on my picks this week. What about you?
Liam went 3-3.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we've got 4 games that we'll pick this weekend. We'll do that coming up on Friday. But I am happy to say that I was able to go 4-2. 916-779-0929 or 0929 if you're offended by 916-779-0929. All right. So from the 916, last time I checked, hitting a quarterback in the head is roughing a passer, which was missed a couple times by the Zebras. Give Houston advantage. All right, let's say that they missed it on the touchdown. So instead of the score being 30-6, it would have been 23-6. My question to you is, the officials were not the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers were not able to score a touchdown. That had nothing to do with the inability of the Steelers to score a touchdown. The reason why the Steelers did not score a touchdown is because they were manhandled by the Houston defense. Okay? And if you're not able to open your eyes and see that, then you're either upset because you gambled and lost money on the game, or you're a Steelers fan who cannot accept the fact that your team was manhandled last night by the Houston Texans. Ryan, we talk about the team you root for that has a very good defense, and their defense is good. It's not the Houston Texans defense.
No, it's not, but I am a little offended that you didn't mention the Legion of Boom in the opening segment.
Yeah, well, the Legion of Boom defense cannot compare to the Ravens defense or the Bears defense of 85. It's not even in the same sentence. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll give you that, but the rate, well, I don't
It's
know.
not. It's just not.
Grant,
It's not. I mean, when you talk about great defenses in the history of the NFL, the Bears defense in 85 under Buddy Ryan, the infamous 46 defense, is the best defense in the history of the NFL for one season. And then I think in 2001, the Ravens defense led by Ray Lewis is pretty much regarded as the second best defense in the history of the NFL. And then in my opinion, there's a little bit of a drop off. Now, that's my opinion, and it's subjective because, it's just my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. I will say this. It is suffocating to play the Texans. And not only do they hit hard, they bring you to the ground. And it only takes one guy, but they can rally if you need them to. The Steelers really could not get anything going. Think about that game if C.J. Stroud is not throwing multiple interceptions.
Oh, my gosh. He was terrible last night.
And even some of the balls that he completed were behind receivers instead of in front of them.
He was terrible.
Yeah. So, but still good enough to get through that game on the back of that defense. I mean, Grant, is this the last throw that we're going to remember from Aaron Rodgers?
Say this for Mike Tomlin. If this is it, whether it's by the Steelers' decision saying this has run its course, or if it's him saying, I want to try something else, go somewhere else, try TV, whatever it is, he will not be out of work.
No, he won't. A lot of networks knocking on his door, that's for sure. And if he wants to continue to coach, if he's let go, there'll be a lot of suitors knocking on his door for that as well.
Here's an interception for good measure. It's picked off by Bullock. And Rodgers is in his way, trying to make the tackle. Can't. And it's a touchdown, Texans.
Great call by Joe Buck. Just tremendous job. And yeah, maybe so. I would think he's not coming back to Pittsburgh.
No.
He spoke so highly of Mike Tomlin. That's not going to happen now.
If Mike Tomlin takes another job because, and it's reported that he's resigning, a team's going to have to compensate the Steelers. The Steelers still have rights to him for, I believe, another couple of years.
If Mike Tomlin takes another job, he's going to want a younger, established quarterback that he can build his team around. He's not going to want Aaron Rodgers.
What about the New York Giants?
I would hire Mike Tomlin today if I'm John Mara, the co-owner of the New York Giants. Okay? I'm hiring him this moment. I'm hiring him right now. I'm hiring him before the end of the workday.
No doubt.
I would love Mike Tomlin as the coach of the Giants.
It's interesting to think about the coaches that are available right now. It's a really good cycle.
It's maybe as good as we've had, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you have the John Harbaugh available, you have Mike Tomlin available, and other really good candidates. Yeah, you know what? If you have to have a coaching vacancy, now's not a bad time to have it, right? Now's not a bad time to have it. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to talk more about this. Get on deck at 916-779-0929 on Fox Sports Sacramento.
The new year is here, a fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear, and they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Tired of the same old routine? Need a place where the beer flows and the good times roll? Then head to Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Family owned and operated, so you know you'll feel right at home. Catch all your favorite games on 18 big screens while enjoying amazing food. And with 28 beers on tap, you're sure to find something you love. And don't miss everyday happy hour from 3 to 7 and again from 10 till close. Looking for more than just the game? Trivia Tuesday starts at 7 p.m. And there's Mario Kart and bingo nights for even more fun, too. There's always a blast happening at Fieldhouse. Whether you're looking for a place to watch the game, grab a bite with the family, or just unwind with friends, Fieldhouse is the place to be. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Bring it to the house.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council. Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
For the individual that still wants to talk about the officiating in the game last night, let me give you a couple of real key statistics. If you want to talk about illustrating the domination, the Houston Texans last night had 408 total yards. The Pittsburgh Steelers had 175 yards. That's right, 175. They averaged 3.1 yards per play. They had 63 yards rushing, 112 yards passing. I mean, you know that their average yards per pass was 2.9. 916, Grant just tuned in. Did that lady call in about the Steelers Houston game? No. I'm waiting for Rahil to call. She promised me she would. So I'm waiting. We're on the air for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Maybe she's at work. Although in D.C., it's a little bit later. But I don't know what she does for a living, so she could still be at work.
To be fair, she did call hour 3 the first time.
Yes. So again, she may be working or she may be whatever. I mean, we all have responsibilities. So she's got until 6 o'clock Pacific to call. And you're right. She did call in hour number 3. You're correct. And I will take her for her word because she promised me she would call. So I take everyone at their word until they prove otherwise. So how about that, Rhino? 408 to 175 total yards.
Staggering.
Wow.
During the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Just staggering.
It is. So what direction will the Pittsburgh Steelers go next? Who will be their next head coach? You know, it's not an attractive job right now outside of ownership and stability. That's the biggest attraction of becoming the head coach of the Steelers. But you don't have a quarterback. You normally, as a coach, when you are a very good coach in particular, you want to go to an organization where you look at that position and go, okay, I can win with that person. The Steelers don't have that person. They don't. As of today, they don't have a legitimate quarterback with or without Aaron Rodgers. They don't have that individual.
It's the position that's most directly tied to your job.
That's correct. And you really are going to have a difficult time winning, although there are exceptions. I wouldn't put C.J. Stroud as an elite quarterback, but they have such a good defense that it can overcome the inefficiency of times at their quarterback. Now, in all fairness to Stroud, during the win streak, he played very well. He didn't play well last night. He looked very jittery to me last night. It looked like the moment was too big for him.
You're right. Did you catch the close-up of him on the bench? I think it was right around the third quarter.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked a little shook.
Yeah. This question from the 209, would I rather have Tomlin or Harbaugh for the Giants? I would rather have Mike Tomlin than John Harbaugh. I believe Tomlin is exactly what the Giants need. If you told me that Harbaugh would be the coach, I'd be fine with that too. But and first of all, I think they're both tremendous coaches. I just love everything about Mike Tomlin. I love how he goes about his business. I love how he conducts his press conferences. I love the respect that the players that have played for him have. And I'm not saying that John Harbaugh doesn't have those things, but I'm more of a Tomlin guy than a Harbaugh guy. But either or would be fine for me. I don't, the Giants have already talked with Harbaugh. The reports are that he met with Chris Mara. John Mara is battling cancer right now, that he met with Chris Mara and that there's another meeting scheduled. But now with Mike Tomlin, and there's also Kevin Stefanski that they're high on, they're going through the process. So we'll see. Again, I think the Giants are attractive because of Jackson Dart. Agree or disagree, Ryan?
100% agree.
Yep.
I don't think the Steelers are unattractive because you don't have that quarterback installed that's kind of in the middle that you could go either way on. You now have a chance to go out in free agency or possibly the draft and get a guy that you want. But then you're putting, like you said, your tenure there on the shoulders of possibly a rookie quarterback.
Well, you're in a division that has Joe Burrow, an elite quarterback, and Lamar Jackson, a former multiple-time MVP. And again, you don't really have a quarterback. And so to think that you're going to be able to get one in free agency, I'm not really sure. And then if you draft a quarterback, in all likelihood, there are exceptions, but in all likelihood, it's going to take a while before that individual really becomes the guy.
Yeah, I'd be looking at Mac Jones from the Steelers this offseason. I think that could be a good fit. The one wild card here, and I say this as a Notre Dame fan, I know Marcus Freeman said that he was going to stay put at Notre Dame, but does he reconsider now with a job like the Steelers opening up?
Great question. Great question. I would think they'd be a little nervous with all of the jobs that are becoming open. But in terms of Freeman, if he has an opportunity to become a head coach in the NFL now, that opportunity is going to be there in the future. And he's young. So, what's the rush, right? That opportunity will always be there for you if and when you leave Notre Dame.
I think it's if you're looking at the Steelers specifically, it's one of the handful of jobs with what you just said, organizational stability. That's going to back you, that's going to give you a sample size, unlike the Texans used to be before DeMarco Ryans.
Well, I mean, when you think of the Super Bowl era and Super Bowl I, Vince Lombardi, Bart Starr, Carroll Dale, I mean, Ray Nitschke, Paul Hornung. I mean, you think about Hank Stram, you think about Len Dawson, you think about that era of football. Think about that. Most of the people listening to the show have no idea what I'm talking about because they weren't born yet. But when you think about all the coaches that the Raiders have had, all of the coaches that the Giants have had since Tom Coughlin stepped down, and we can mention many other franchises, that we have a franchise since the 60s with Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. Is that just unfreaking believable? If you're a fan of the Kings, you've had 3 coaches in the last, 3 years almost.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, think about that for a minute.
You wonder if some of these franchises and the fans, specifically of the franchises like the Steelers and the Ravens, you just get content with success. I mean, yeah, you're not reaching the top level every year, but you're not unsuccessful.
Yeah. How about this message? from the 209. If or when Aaron Rodgers officially retires, is he a Hall of Famer? Are you serious with that question? Are you serious? Seriously. Unbelievable. Let me think about that for just... Yes.
If you want to start a debate, throw like DeMar DeRozan in there. Then we'll debate.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Oh, my gosh. That's beautiful. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. 209, let me answer the question this way. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there needs to be a massive investigation as to why not. Okay? Is he a Hall of Famer? Oh my gosh. Oh. You have something that's going to make me laugh like that, Ryan, or you can't come up with one like that?
Yeah. No, we're just going to ride with that. Not going to take the risk.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
They're trying to get you hooked, Grant. Yesterday with 0 and 0. Today, that. We're waiting on Rahil.
You know, back to the game last night. You know what was very peculiar to me? All the missed snaps in the shotgun. And if you noticed, the Texans then started going a lot more under center with Stroud and not in the shotgun. He had even Buck and Aikman missed a couple times where he didn't field it cleanly. He was having a real problem just getting the ball from center last night in the shotgun.
Yes, he was. And you put that on top of the interceptions that are a concern. You know, they had 3 turnovers, but the Steelers did not turn them into any points. Or actually, they got
Only
3 points. 3 points.
Right. Yep.
And the Steelers had 2. Both ended up being touchdowns.
Yep.
For the Texans.
Yep. No question. The last one, really, the game was over on the pick 6. I mean, the game was already over. So, yes, that is true. They did turn 2 into points, but the game, for all intents and purposes. Well, first of all, I think the game was over the second that the Texans had the lead on a touchdown. The game was over because Pittsburgh wasn't going to score a touchdown, and it was pretty evident that they weren't going to score a touchdown. So they didn't even need any more points.
Wasn't it?
I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Wasn't it bizarre that they went away from Malik Neighbors after he dropped the ball?
Malik Neighbors.
Oh, excuse me. DK Metcalf. Same build, same style. My bad. I just made you laugh. That's a better one.
On that note, we will get to the break here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Call the good dudes at Cabrudes. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Cabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrude's does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabroods, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabroods.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabroods, Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods, Gubruds, Gabroods.com.
Are your lights flickering more than a disco ball? Tired of your office coffee maker and server room fighting over that one working outlet? Call the pros who keep the juice flowing. Elite Power Inc. Elite Power Inc. is the commercial and industrial electrical contractor who takes your power and lighting seriously so you don't have to. Elite Power Inc. handles everything from rewiring ancient office buildings to installing cutting-edge control panels in factories. Their IBEW 340 electricians have more certifications than your printer has error messages. And they promise not to judge your breaker panel's creative labeling. Get plugged in with Elite Power Inc., where sparks fly, but only in a good way. Professionally trained technicians, 24-hour electrical service, maintenance, and repair. Project estimating, the knowledge and skill for any commercial or industrial need. Call 916-739-1580. That's 916-739-1580 or go to elitepower.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
All right, so we've got the divisional round of the NFL playoffs set. And I think when you look at the game coming up on Saturday night, I don't know if of the 4 games this weekend, I don't know if there's a better matchup than that. It's going to be amazing when you look at the games coming up. And, you know, you talk about the 2 Saturday games, Buffalo at Denver, then San Francisco at Seattle. By the way, how would you like to be a fan of the Chicago Bears? And all of a sudden, your game is now in the nighttime. That's right. It's going to be cold anyway, but no problem. You know, if I'm the Bears, I'm probably happy as heck about that. Make it as cold as you can for the Rams. But boy, as a fan, that is going to be brutal. It's part of growing up in that part of the country and living there or working there, particularly with the wind. Let me see what the weather forecast is for Sunday. Okay. The low in the evening is supposed to be 9 degrees with the wind at about 12 miles per hour. So have fun. Have fun with some snow showers, by the way. Have fun in Chicago. Ryan, would you like 2 tickets to go to the Rams-Bears game, sir?
No, but I'd like 2 pairs of socks if I was going to be going.
Yeah. Oh, my.
You know what? Like, here's the thing. Like, in my head, sitting in this nice warm studio looking at you, I'm like, that wouldn't be that bad. It'd be so cool to be there. And I know the second I step off the airplane, I would know it was a mistake.
You'd have to be dialed in to Like, I mean, I'm talking about with what you're wearing and the hand warmers and all of that. Yeah. But I think that's an advantage for the Bears, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. The fans are going to eat that up. You're going to see people with their shirts off. It's going to be... And
I've
with
never understood that.
Yeah, me either. But with the Rams in the passing game, I think that definitely helps the Bears.
I totally with you on that. So, again, a high of 17 and a low of 9. All right? Which means the wind chill, if the winds are blowing at about 12 miles per hour, it's going to feel like 0. So have fun if you're going to the Bears game on Sunday night.
We're getting to the place, my friend that lives in Green Bay that goes to Packers games, when it starts to get that cold, he'll buy a bottle of water and he will open it and it automatically freezes.
Yeah.
That's how cold.
Well, I mean, 3 of the 4 games could be, Buffalo at Denver. And then, of course, you have the other game at New England with Houston at New England. So, it's not going to be any picnic coming up in that game, weather-wise.
I think the cold weather is going to affect them, Grant.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rahil. Appreciate that. All right. What's your over-under on her calling?
I think
not
she'll
over-under.
call.
What are the odds?
I got it at probably 65-35 that she'll call.
Okay.
She had too much energy.
She did have a lot of energy. She was a great caller.
Yeah, she'll give you a couple reasons why they lost. You'll have a good talk. Looking forward to it.
By the way, the weather in Foxborough on Sunday is not bad. Sunny, high of 35, low 22. So not going to be a problem. Right? Not going to be an issue.
Shouldn't be.
No. If Houston does not turn the ball over like they did last night, because New England's a better team than Pittsburgh, I think they're going to beat New England. Drake May and that offense, that defense by Houston, I think we're going to see the same thing. I think New England's going to have trouble scoring offensively, as good as Drake May is, and that offense is better than Pittsburgh's. I think they're going to have real issues scoring a lot or enough to beat Houston. I think the defense or special teams will have to be a real key for the Patriots on Sunday.
To the same degree or less?
Same degree as what?
Scoring on the Texans. Do you think it'll be like last night, that type of trouble?
I think it's going to be trouble, but I don't think it's going to be as bleak as last night, because the New England offense is better, and Drake May at this point in his career is better and more apt, I think, but his inexperience against a defense like this is going to mean something. And the defense that I saw last night will limit the Patriots. I think they're going to have trouble scoring more than 13 points offensively. I really do.
If you are the Patriots and you win the toss, you want the ball?
No, absolutely not. I do not want the ball. I want to have C.J. Stroud make a mistake. I want to let the Texans know they're not going to run on me the way they did last night. And I want them to go have the ball first. If I'm New England, absolutely not. I do not want the ball first. I do not want to go up against that defense and give them good field position if I have a 3 and out. No, absolutely not.
But if you score on them.
Yeah, but the chances of scoring on the Texans on the opening drive are not really good.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that defense is not a fluke. I mean, that defense doesn't have any weaknesses. And here's something else about that defense, and I'm going to talk to Sean Salisbury about that in an hour. There isn't a team in the NFL that tackles like that.
No.
I mean, their tackling is like old school, right? It is old school. And their rush, their ability to get to the quarterback with 4 is a huge help. But their secondary, they put a hat on you, and they are so quick to react. And on one-on-one in the open space, they don't miss tackles.
100%. And it's not also, well, I should say it's also that they don't miss tackles. It's the fact they hit you hard. Those receivers got rocked last night.
Yeah. I'll make a prediction right now. If Houston wins this game, they're going to the Super Bowl. I think if they win this game at New England, which will be a tight game, I think they're going to win the following week without even knowing who they're going to play.
I agree. Is that true of any of the NFC games for you?
Well, I believe that the winner of the Niners-Seahawks game is going to be that team. However, I feel bad. Bad's not the right word. It's messing with my mind that I've, for the last couple of weeks, said I think the Rams have the best team in the NFC. But I got to tell you something, Ryan. I haven't really liked the way they played coming down the stretch. And I wasn't really thrilled watching them play against Carolina. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's kind of changed my opinion a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like maybe I don't want to say hit their stride too early, but they're just not humming the same way that they were. Stafford, finger injury seems to be okay. He's going to play through it. But, yeah, I mean, it would be different had they come out and just dominated that Carolina team. Much different.
The issue that the Rams are going to have, maybe, will they be able to throw the ball down the field in that weather to Devontae Adams and Pua Nakua? Will they be able to use that weapon? Now, technology in the NFL is different now. The balls on the sideline that are brought in and out of the game, are kept in I don't want to say a heater, but the balls aren't like rocks the way they used to be. Okay. And you do have the technology on the sidelines to keep you warm when you're not in the game. And you have hand warmers that the quarterback can use to put in the pocket that they have in front of them. So, I mean, there are ways to combat the weather. And it's not like Matthew Stafford has not played in the cold weather anymore. He was a Detroit Lion for years and played at Lambeau and played in Chicago a lot late in the season. So it's not like he's never done this before, but this is Chicago Bears weather. And I think that's an advantage for them.
I
really do.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Look at last week. And if you're the Rams and you get up on the Bears, are you worried?
No, I mean, I know that Bears have come from behind, but there's not a coach in sports that would tell you they'd rather be trailing than be ahead.
I mean,
you always want to be ahead. I mean, that's what you play for. So no, the Houston Texans are going to be in every game they play because of their defense. So when you look at matchups this week, like Buffalo at Denver, you know what's interesting about the games this week? If you told me that we were going to come in here on Monday and we were going to talk about all four road teams winning, I wouldn't be surprised at all. If you told me that Buffalo's going to win at Denver and San Francisco's going to win and Houston's going to beat New England and the Rams are going to beat the Bears, I wouldn't be surprised at all, would you?
No, not at all. I expect a couple of them. I expect the Bills to win.
Okay.
Sorry, Cody.
I'm expecting the Rams to still beat the Bears despite everything. I just don't think the Bears are ready for this step in their evolution under Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. I think it's just maybe expecting a little too much.
But okay, explain that. Expand on that. How are they not
I'm just
ready?
looking at the history of the NFL. I'm looking at teams that go from really bad to really good. They normally don't go from really bad to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game. Now, there is an exception last year. Washington was that team. All right, they went from really bad, but they also had a dynamic rookie quarterback that they didn't have the year before, and they took advantage of a Detroit team that was completely decimated by injuries on the defense in the playoff game in which they won. But I didn't think they were as good as a team that was playing in the NFC Championship game. The Bears, to me, I look at their record. Are they really as good as that record would indicate when you look at how they have won games? And I'm still of the belief that they are good, but I don't think they're as good as their record indicates. I would say the same thing about Denver. I don't think Denver's as good as a team when I look at their record. I mean, their record this year is great. Okay, well, they're the number one seed. They're 14-3. Denver doesn't look like a 14-3 team to me when I watch them play. Do they look like a 14-3 team to you? When I mean 14-3, I'm talking about what I have in my head. When I look at the numbers 14-3, I'm like, oh, wow, that's a dominant team. Denver's not a dominant team.
Yeah, but when you grade it with the curve of this year's season and the parity, it makes you, at least for me, think twice about what I consider to be a team that's on the rise and not ready for that next step yet. Out of those two teams, who are you more confident in?
Denver, clearly. Denver. Even though Chicago's got the better quarterback, I think Denver has the better overall team. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is there's not any great team in the NFL right now. We might be saying something different after the Super Bowl, but this year has been about parity. It's been about there hasn't been that one team just completely dominating week after week after week. And I think that's what's making the playoffs so great. And listen, the games that we just had this weekend, 4 of the 6 games came down to the final moment. 4 of the 6 games were absolute dandies. Okay? Dandies. All right. Let's get to some phone calls. We get to Chris in Sacramento. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Grant,
Chris.
how's it going? Thanks
Good,
for
Chris.
my call today.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, I mean, it's going to sound very Captain Obvious, but I mean, the Niners, for me, I think for them to sustain some drives, they got to be able to run the ball. It's going to be harder without Kittle. They had a sort of a portion of the season, late in the season, weeks 15 through 17, where they averaged total about 161 yards per game. Their biggest win against Chicago. It's going to be tough, but I really think that it's going to open up that offense a little bit more, and they got to sustain drives. They can't leave that defense on the field for as long as they did. So I want to get your comments on that. Also, if I can get your comments on another thing, I'm not sure if you talked about this yesterday, but what were your thoughts, as someone who's worked in media for as long as you've had, and I'm not sure if you've seen the story, but it was that Jacksonville beat writer, she was sort of consoling Liam Cohen after their loss. She said, keep your head up. She was very motherly-like to him. What were your thoughts on that?
Sure.
And then also on my comment.
Sure, and I'll let you take it off the air because of the background noise. Thank you very much, Chris. I did talk about that yesterday, and there's a time and place for everything, and that's not the place for that. I wasn't it didn't keep me up at night. I wasn't angry. I wasn't going to come on the air and trash her, but it's not the place for that. So in my opinion, it was inappropriate. That's my opinion. But again, I didn't lose sleep over it. As far as the Niners, the Seattle defense has been really consistent all year. And points are going to be at a premium the same way they were 2 weeks ago in Santa Clara when Seattle won that low-scoring game. Points are going to be at a premium. And if Brock Purdy is as careless with the football as he was in that game, the first play of the game, and as he was in Philadelphia, they won't win against Seattle. They won't. And I'm skeptical of the Niners being able to run the ball enough against that Seattle defense. So this is going to be a really tall order for the Niners. I know they got that mojo. I know they have that look, but they're going against, in my opinion, the best defense in the NFC and a team that is going to keep it a very low-scoring game. And that means you cannot make the mistakes that Purdy made against the Philadelphia Eagles. They survived that game. They won't survive this week if that were to happen. Dave in Elk Grove, welcome to the Grant Napear Show.
Hey, Grant, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Dave.
Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my Buffalo Bills and also your take on the Houston Texans. I agree that Houston obviously has the best defense in the league. I believe they do have some vulnerabilities on the offensive side of the ball, which became apparent last night. But I think the deeper you go into the playoffs, I think the experience at the quarterback position rises to the top. And Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford are the two most seasoned playoff quarterbacks in the playoffs right now. So we played Houston earlier in the year, came down to our final possession. We ended up losing by 4 points, and Josh Allen was on his back 8 times during this game. So I would like our chances if we went to Houston for the AFC Championship. I know you disagree.
No, I don't. I'm not even going to talk about that game, because one thing about the NFL is you can't talk about a game that's after another game because of the way injuries can change matchups and everything. So I'm not even going to talk about a potential Buffalo Houston matchup. I do agree with you about Josh Allen in this game. And I think when you look at the game that they just played against Jacksonville, there's a reason why Buffalo won, and the main reason is Josh Allen. Allen is that guy. He is, not to make a cliche, he can carry a team on his back with his play. And I give Buffalo a really good chance to go in and beat Denver. And I also think this will be a low-scoring game. I think points will be at a premium, but Allen is a really tough customer. They're a seasoned team. They don't have to deal with Mahomes, Burrow, or Lamar Jackson this year. Not a lot of people were picking Buffalo at the start of the playoffs. And I think after, beating Jacksonville the way they did and having Josh Allen, to me, this is a toss-up game against Denver. And then, we'll wait and see what happens. Houston may not beat New England. We might be talking about a Buffalo-New England rematch where we're not, it's not a given that Houston's going to go in and beat New England. So I don't even think we need to be talking about the following week. Just worry about this week. This is going to be a really good game. I think it's a toss-up. I don't give Denver really that much of an advantage because they're at home. I think it's a toss-up type of a game.
No, I think all 4 games this weekend are a toss-up, and I wouldn't be completely surprised, as you just mentioned a few minutes ago, if all 4 road teams won again this weekend.
Yeah, it would be highly unlikely in the history of the NFL to have all 4 teams on the road win. So that's probably not going to happen. But when you look at the matchups, again, Buffalo, Denver to me, toss-up. San Francisco, Seattle. I got to give a little advantage to Seattle. Week off, that defense, everything else, no Kittle. I got to give them a slight advantage, a 3-point advantage. I haven't even looked at the line yet. Houston, New England to me is a toss-up. And, the Rams to me, I think will still beat the Bears, but I would flip a coin on that. These are all going to be tremendous games. I can't wait, Dave.
No, it's going to be a great weekend. Looking forward to it. And we'll chat again next week and see the results.
Thank you very much. We'll talk more about the NFL and these matchups next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort is all about keeping you comfortable at home. And when your sewer system backs up or the toilet suddenly won't flush, that's not comfortable. Sierra Pacific's expert plumbers are always ready to deal with household plumbing emergencies. We'll come out and solve the problem, no problem. Expert plumbing service anytime at SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's. Locally owned for more than 30 years. GUBRUDS.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods, GUBRUDS, Gabroods.com.
It's the All Things Legal Show, heard every Saturday morning from 8 to 9. Join your host, Craig Ashton, with an entertaining and eclectic view of all things legal. Saturday mornings from 8 to 9. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
So there are those of you that have been asking. We had an individual say they were a little late to the show and wanted to know, the question was, has the lady from Washington, D.C. called? And I said, I have not heard from Rahil yet, but I said I take her at her word. She said she would call. I have no reason to doubt her. And guess what? She's on with me right now. Rahil, thank you so much for calling.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, you're not off the hook. Okay, so they won last night. But did I not tell you? I mean, I thought we would win. First of all, the weather was too nice, unfortunately. Number two, I told you that their offense was horrible. He is going to be out. There's no way the Texans are going to move on further. But the sadder part is that I wanted Aaron to go out with a bang, and that's the sadder part for me. But I told you that their offense. I told you he's just not all that. I'm sorry. Seen him the last.
What did I
tell
you? And what did I tell you? I told you the defense of the Texans would completely shut down the Steelers, and that would be the reason why they won the game.
But
it really
you know
doesn't
what?
matter.
It wasn't that. Okay.
The Baltimore
It wasn't
Ravens
that
won a
they
Super Bowl
shut-
with Trent Dilfer at quarterback because they had the best defense in football in 2001 when they beat the Giants. This Texans team, they held the Steelers to 6 points and 175 total yards. Think about that.
I didn't. Okay, I'm not that impressed. I'm sorry. I've seen better
Wow.
defenses than that. I'm not that
name me a better defense than that. Name me the last defense. Oh, stop it! Stop it! No, you're
come on.
now you're hurting your
If I
credibility.
want to name a very good defense that I would say probably back in the day, Buffalo Bills. I would say the Bills. So a team like that had you got the Chicago
Their defense
Bears,
was
the
very
Bills.
good.
Okay,
Hey,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Rahil, let me ask you. 3 weeks ago, the Robert Saleh defense played against Caleb Williams and the Bears, and they couldn't get off the field. The Bears went up and down the field and had a field day against that defense. Then the following week, Seattle controlled the ball and controlled the complete game with time of possession. They couldn't get off the field on third down. I love Robert Saleh. He's a great defensive coordinator. The Niners defense, despite no Bosa, no Warner, have been very good. They're not the Houston Texans, Rahil. Come on now.
Well, I'm not betting on Josh Allen because the history with Josh Allen is always that the Bills never. I mean, you can't have a great quarterback and nobody to help him out, and that's what happened last night. I think that Aaron lost because he really, in the last couple of, for a while, he didn't really have anybody to throw to. Let's be honest. And then last night, I think the guys just gave up. The defense held up. Cam Hayward held. They did. It was the offensive line that didn't help out. However, I wanted to call back because I'm going to be watching your show. When I hear you piss me off again, I was coming home from work right now, and I have to call him because I don't want him to think he had anything over me. Because I did tell you that that Houston was that their offensive line. I mean, I'm not a big. They're not going to go that far. And matter of fact, you know who is? The Rams. I think the Rams are probably the better. And
well, I like the Rams too. I like the Rams too, but I think you're not giving credit to what the Houston Texans have done with their winning streak and how they have completely shut down opposing teams. And defense does win championships despite the fact that it's an offensive league. If you have a great defense, which is what the Houston Texans have, you are going to be in every single game you play.
Some points, Grant. You need.
They scored 30 points last night. Is that enough for you?
That was when the guys had already given up. You could tell that they were defeated. It just looked like they were bummed out.
30-6.
And one thing about Aaron, because you said that you watch Aaron all the time. One thing you do know about Aaron, I've been watching ever since we're the same age in school. Ever since I've seen him play, once he gets down or once he feels down at the end, you can see a change. And I think that's what happened last night. But I decided to call back. I'm going to be
Thank you.
watching you. And when I hear you piss me off, me and my friends are going to call you up. We're going to call my friends and I are call you up. We're watching and listening. You know how I'll be honest with you. I found your show when I was driving home, and I'm all like, oh, because normally I love to hear The Odd Couple when they're, because I just love the show. And then I heard you, and I'm all, this guy's good, but he's pissing me off because everything he's saying is wrong. So now you have a new listener out here. You got to give a few, and a few pissed off Steeler fans with you. But I'll be watching, and I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you again.
Hey, all you need to know is that defense that you're not very high on held the Pittsburgh Steelers to 3.1 yards per play and 175 yards of total offense.
Happened. Well, let me tell you one thing. They're not going any. They're going to be beaten. They're going to be beaten. I'm telling you, they're going to be beaten. I want to see the Niners go. I would love to see, Brock Purdy and the guys go. And if anything, I would love to see Trent go out in a happy note. I wish that Kittle was still there, but he's not there. I was born in the Bay Area, so there's that Bay Area tie right there.
Hey,
so
Rahil,
I'll be listening.
Rahil, I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you calling. You didn't take your medicine. You didn't take your medicine the way I thought you would. You called up with all these excuses, and Houston's not this, and Houston's not that. I told you what was going to happen, and it happened.
Well, you did say that, but I don't believe that. I'm just going to stand on what I said. I mean, how many times did you get away with C.J. Stroud? I mean, giving the ball away. I mean, it was just unbelievable how many times.
Not a lot.
And be honest, the last couple of weeks he has not played well. Look at those games; he has not played that well. So
there are four teams. There are four teams left. There are 4 teams left in the AFC playoffs, and they're one of them.
Well, I rather see. I believe that Josh probably could pull something out of his hat somewhere. I mean, he deserves to go. I mean, he has been there, and no Mahomes, so why not? But I'm telling you, they're not going to go anywhere. But I'm going to be listening to you.
Okay, but just so you know, they already have gone somewhere. They're going to the second round of the playoffs. I mean, come on now.
Second round, but they're not there yet. I want to see. He doesn't have that. I'm telling you, CJ's not the guy. He doesn't have that experience, regardless or whatever. I know the defense won last night, and you said the defense won last night. But
I know one thing. He's got more experience than Drake May, who's they playing this week. Now, I'm not saying I'd rather have C.J. Stroud and Drake May, but if you talk about experience, he's got more experience than Drake May. Okay.
Brett, do you know what the weather's going to be like this weekend?
Yeah, it's not bad in Foxborough. The weather's supposed to be pretty good. It is. I already looked it up. The weather in Foxborough is not going to be bad. It's not going to be a factor in the game. Now, Chicago, it's going to be a factor. The wind chill is going to be about 0. But on Sunday in Foxborough, it's not. The weather's supposed to be sunny in the mid-30s. Not going to be an issue.
So who is you're going to go to the Super Bowl then?
I think the winner of the Seattle-San Francisco game is in the NFC. I'm with you on the Rams. I've been high on the Rams. But I got to tell you, I have not been that impressed with how they played the last couple of weeks. I think they have the best personnel. I think they have the most balanced team, but I have not liked the way they've played the last couple of weeks.
Well, you remember Devontae Adams got hurt in that
that
for a while, and
with
he
the
just
hamstring.
got back, and then he had that injury. But injuries play into it. But if I would have my choice, I would love to see the Niners finally win for Shanahan and all the guys.
Yeah,
all of the
great.
ones that Debo should have been there. It was sad seeing Debo here in DC play. I mean, wrong uniform. But
one final thought. I'm a diehard religious New York Giants fan. Just so you know, I grew up in New York, and my family had season tickets before I was born. So I'm a diehard Giants fan. But I'd really love to see the Bills win. For the people of that area in upstate New York, their fans, the Bill Mafia, I really would like to see the Bills finally win a Super Bowl. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for them not ever winning, but so the Niners we missed a couple of Super Bowls too, so why not?
Hey, thank you for your call.
Grant. You're the best.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Call again. I like talking to you. Take care.
Okay,
bye-bye.
You too. All right, bye-bye.
All right. See, there you go. I told you before she called, I was going to take her at her word. I had no reason not to take her at her word because she promised me she would call. She sounded like a very ethical person last week, even though she's wrong. Okay, that's okay. Even though she was wrong about the Houston Texans, and she's still wrong about the Texans, it's okay. She told me she would call. So you know what, Ryan? She just moved up a couple of rungs on my ladder for one of my favorite people because she did what she said that she would do. So she has just gained in stature for the way I view the people that call my show. She's elevated herself.
Well, put her up one more rung because when I answered the phone, she was already swinging. She was throwing haymakers. She was not about to take her medicine. I love her energy. Rahil, get up in here.
She's got great
anytime.
energy, but she's wrong. So it's okay. Thank you, Rahil. I really appreciate you and your friends, too, in that part of the country. Thank you so much for listening to the show. 30-6, the Houston Texans, who, by the way, were 12-5 on the year. Okay? That's right. They played 17 games, and they only lost 5. And last night, they had 408 total yards to 175. How about that? From the 916, Grant, big props to her. Yes, she does deserve big props. All right, let's get to JC in Sacramento. JC, welcome. You're on Fox Sports Sacramento. Go ahead. JC. All right, I'm going to put him on hold. All right? Or off. JC, call back. He wanted to talk about the 49ers. Don't forget Sean Salisbury. We're going to talk a lot of NFL football. And you're going to, I think, like what he has to say about the Houston Texans, the former NFL quarterback, former quarterback for the USC Trojans. Yeah. I think you're going to enjoy Sean. I do each and every week right here on this program. So I'm very happy that he is going to be on. Grant's Rant is coming up at 5 o'clock as well. Don't miss that. 916. She's got great energy, but she's wrong. Laughing out loud. Well, I just call it the way it is. She does have great energy. Yes. 209. Hey, Grant, Malik Monk has been killing it. Don't want to see him leave. Peter from Galt. Hey, Peter. Yeah. He's a really good player. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. He's a really, really good player. By the way, the Steelers last night had only 13 first downs, and that defense that, to me, is by far the best defense in the NFL, held Pittsburgh on third downs to 2 of 14. Wow. 2 of 14 on third down. Ian, what's going on, Ian?
Hey, Grant, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for calling.
So I recently came across a conspiracy theory that has to do with why the Niners are always injured.
Are you talking about the electrical facility next to them and everything? Yes. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to comment on it. Nothing would surprise me anymore in this day and age. So I'm not a doctor or a scientist or an expert when it comes to the effects of, electromagnetic this and that. I don't know. I can't comment on it other than I did see it as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for taking my call.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I can't comment. JC, we got you back. Go ahead, JC.
Hey, Grant, how we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just on my way to work. I wanted to take a little second to chat about Niners Seahawks and even potentially with Fred Warner's practice window opening today, the potential of him being able to win if we're able to come back, if we're able to squeak out a win against Seattle. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that. How hopeful are you that the Niners can potentially upset the number 1 seed here?
Listen, they have that look of a team. I think that they clearly should be the underdogs this week for a variety of reasons. Health being one, short week number 2, a tremendous defense number 3 that has bottled them up. But, I mean, they can win. They're the Niners. They're supremely coached. I mean, Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh. So, I mean, it's a divisional game. There are no secrets. I mean, I hate to say this because most games come down to this, but this game will really come down to it. You cannot turn the ball over. Brock Purdy cannot throw 2 interceptions the way he did against Philadelphia and beat Seattle. You're not going to beat Seattle if you throw 2 interceptions the way he did against Philly. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is just too reliable. Eagles didn't really have that number 1 guy they were able to go to, but with the tight end room that the Seahawks have, that offense, even if Sam Darnold, I'm not super high on him as a really top 10 real threat quarterback. but I just think if we're not able to get pressure on him, he has like he had in Week 18, way too time to throw in the pocket, and I think it could be a little bit scary, and the game could get out of hand really quick. But I don't know. I'm really interested to see how it goes, but I'm not getting my hopes up, and I'm a Niners fan all the way through, so I'm riding with my team, and it's super impressive what they've done this season despite everything they've gone through. So I'm not.
It is. It's unbelievable what they've done. Absolutely. It is incredible. And they just keep losing players, and it's the next man up, and they just keep moving along. It has been. It's been unbelievable. I give so much credit to what they've accomplished this year.
Yeah, I hope it isn't an electromagnetic field. If that's the case, it doesn't show any sign of them moving or changing anything anytime soon, and they're denying it. So hopefully that's not the case, and we can get a new, I don't know, some doctors or some good, medical people in the background to really make sure our guys can stay healthy. But I don't know. I'm hoping the next few seasons are a little bit more stress-free.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the phone call. More on this when we come back. And don't forget, Grant's ran at 5, followed by Sean Salisbury here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Looking for the perfect spot to watch the game and enjoy amazing food and drinks? Look no further than Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Family owned and operated, Fieldhouse is passionate about creating a fun, welcoming atmosphere for everyone. Spice things up on Tuesdays with Taco Tuesday. Buy any order of our delicious tacos and get a refreshing margarita for just $6. On Wednesday, Fieldhouse features incredible drink specials. Enjoy $5 well drinks and ice cold pints all day long. Fieldhouse was voted the #1 sports bar in Sacramento. Tons of TVs, a mouth-watering menu, and daily specials. It's the perfect sports bar to catch all the action. Visit us today at 1833 Fulton Avenue. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, where the food is fantastic, the drinks are flowing, and the good times never stop. Fieldhouse, bring it to the house.
Need the best in tires? Now through New Year's, save big at Express Tires on Watt Avenue. Sacramento Express Tires with a 60-minute install guarantee. Express Tires has one of the largest on-site inventories in the region, so the tires you want or need are waiting for you. Get over to Express Tires for on-site specials. Express Tires, 7215 Watt Avenue, Sacramento. Express Tires. Take care of your car or truck and protect your wallet.
Are your lights flickering more than a disco ball? Tired of your office coffee maker and server room fighting over that one working outlet? Call the pros who keep the juice flowing. Elite Power Inc. Elite Power Inc. is the commercial and industrial electrical contractor who takes your power and lighting seriously so you don't have to. Elite Power Inc. handles everything from rewiring ancient office buildings to installing cutting-edge control panels in factories. Their IBEW 340 electricians have more certifications than your printer has error messages. And they promise not to judge your breaker panel's creative labeling. Get plugged in with Elite Power Inc., where sparks fly, but only in a good way. Professionally trained technicians, 24-hour electrical service, maintenance, and repair. Project estimating, the knowledge and skill for any commercial or industrial need. Call 916-739-1580. That's 916-739-1580. Or go to elitepower.com.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert, 5-star service, and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
From the 209, your thoughts about the Seahawks organization sending out emails to season ticket holders who are putting their seats for Saturday's game up for sale, and that their 2026 renewal eligibility may be impacted if they sell them to Niners fans. Should fans do what they want with your tickets? Well, I don't know anything about that. It's the first time that I am seeing this, and I wouldn't even think that's legal. So I didn't hear anything about that. Have you heard anything about that, Rhino?
No, I've not. You'd have to look into the agreement when it comes to being a season ticket holder. Maybe they have some language in that about putting.
How could you have language in that? When you sell your tickets, you sell your tickets.
Yeah, I don't know. Some teams are weird like that, Grant. Teams will commonly not sell tickets to people that don't have an area code on their billing address, whatever you want to call it. If you're trying to buy
when you
tickets
use a
online.
credit card, your billing address.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. What do you think about all these 49er injuries? Just a coincidence, or did you see that report that came out about what's next to their facility?
Yeah, I saw the report. I have no idea. I don't put much into that, but I do put a lot into karma. And the fact of the matter is they share a parking lot with that dump of a theme park, Great America, that used to be like literally the place. Now they rob people, Grant. It's like no attractions open, beaten down, half-staffed, $30 for a thing of chicken strips and fries, $10 for a side of fries. That's karma. You can't share a parking lot with that place. Shut it down right now.
I haven't even been there. I don't know. I haven't been to that park, so I'll take your word for it.
Grant, it used to be the place. They came out with the Top Gun ride, at least for my age group, going to a theme park. That was the one that you went to. And now it's just, it's a dump.
I remember as a little boy when the World's Fair was in Flushing, right near the home of the Mets and where the U.S. National Tennis Center is, where they have the U.S. Open.
Mm-hmm.
The World's Fair was right there. And I remember as a little boy going to the World's Fair there, and it was the coolest thing in the world when they had the World's Fair there. But
the world. So what was in the World's Fair?
Everything. It was, look it up. They every year they used to have a World's Fair, around different parts of the world. And when it was in New York, it was amazing. Amazing. I remember as a little kid, it was incredible. Yep. So you can look it up. 916-779-0929, Grant's Rant, coming up in a couple of moments. So we talk about the NFL. Sean Salisbury is going to come on with me in about 15 minutes or so, right after Grant's Rant, that you don't want to miss today. My rant today is I'm going to preface this right now by saying that I think it's a rant, and I think it's a rant that the fans of Sacramento would make if they had a microphone in front of them and were able to do what I am able to do based on all of the comments that we have received over the last couple of weeks and months on our post-game show with Jerry Reynolds and Rhino. And I also think that my comments are in line with how Jerry Reynolds feels, because Jerry has been very open about the situation, and I'm going to rant on, as has Ryan. But I think really it's going to be a message from the fans that my rant is very much in line with how the majority of fans of this Sacramento Kings team feel. So that's going to be the topic of my rant coming up here in a couple of moments. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. And do appreciate the call from all the way across the country. Very classy. for her to call. Very classy.
So the
Like
World's
that.
Fair, now formerly
Yes.
known as World Expo, a massive
Yeah, the World
international
Expo.
exhibition where countries showcase their cultural, technological, and architectural achievements.
Correct. Correct. I know that they just had a huge World's Fair a couple of years ago in Dubai, which I hear was just off the charts. But yeah. Yeah. So you've never been to one, huh?
No, I have not. Sounds like Epcot.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
A little bit?
Probably so. Here's an odd text from the 916. Grant, have you ever tried hunting? If not, would you? I'm not really a hunter. Like, I have a lot of friends that go out and they go duck hunting, and they go. I have friends that go into the mountains of Utah during their season and go hunt for, these huge deer and that. I'm not into that. Are you into that, Rhino?
No. No. But I'm not. I'm against hunting that is exhibitions that are set up to kill large. How do I put exhibitions to like kill elephants or whatever as trophies? I don't like that kind of hunting, but duck hunting,
I
all
don't either.
that, deer hunting, absolutely. I have
You mean
family
like
members.
take the tusk off the elephant and hang it up on your wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm,
got you.
I'm against
yeah,
that.
I'm with you. Yeah, I've never really gotten into hunting. A lot of my friends love hunting, and they love going out into the wilderness and hanging out, waiting for a deer, and I give me something else to do with my time, right? Put me on a nice airplane and send me somewhere where I can sit out at the beach with a cold beer and look at the beautiful clear water. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, it's one of those things like you and I probably golf, right? It's occupying that portion of your social life. So a lot of people do that hunting. I get it.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. You know who was an avid hunter was Reggie Theus, and I think we talked about that when I had him on the show. Reggie was an avid archer, and he would always hunt, but not with guns, but with his bow and arrow. I'm like, okay,
Respect.
you know what? I like that.
That's
Yes.
respect.
Yes.
That's a
Yes.
I'm not saying traditional hunting with a firearm isn't a skill, but I mean, that is a true skill.
Yes.
Because it's not about both getting the animal, it's making sure it's quick and painless for the animal. You have to be good enough to do that.
I'll never forget, we were getting ready to go on a road trip when Brad Miller was with the Kings, and Brad is an avid hunter. I mean, I think he even does that for a living now. And he had killed a boar, had shot a boar, and on the way to the arena had dropped it off at the butcher. Okay. And he shows up and there's a big cardboard box outside the bus. And everyone's looking in the box. I'm like, dude, what's that? He goes, come over here. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, come over here. And the head of the boar is in the box. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? I'm like, seriously. I go, what is wrong with you? So he brought it in the back of his truck to throw out in the big garbage bin outside of the practice facility.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. In the box was the head of this animal. And I'm like, dude, you are not well. There is something really wrong with you. I'm like, you've got a problem. He's like, what? I'm like, what? I go, what is your problem? He goes, no, I dropped it off at the butcher and I got the head and, I'm going to throw it out in the garbage. I'm like, dude, there is something really wrong with you.
Can you imagine the poor employee that's like taking out the leftover popcorn, the garbage, and there's just a boar's head chilling there?
Oh my God. I didn't have any words. Said Grant, the last World Fair was in Osaka, Japan in 2025. So it's still going on. Yeah. They're supposed to be pretty amazing. The World Expos now. I haven't been in one in a long time, but they are supposed to be pretty amazing. So to that extreme, no, I wouldn't. No, I'm not going to walk up to a road trip with a professional team and have in a cardboard box the head of an animal. No.
What were the guys' reactions?
They were just couldn't believe it. They were just like, dude, I mean, it was the same thing. A lot of the reaction was like my reaction. Yeah.
Was it like cleaned up at least?
I didn't really spend a lot of time analyzing all of that. Okay. I just was like, I took one quick glance and I'm like, dude, you have a real problem. I go, there's something not right with you. Yeah.
I bet the guys will appreciate this. No, not so much.
How about that?
Hey, really quick, since I rarely take vacation, I have planned a vacation, and now I'm going to bounce this off you. What should I be doing in the Central Coast area for a couple of days?
Central Coast of California?
Yep. San Luis Obispo, Pismo.
Well, you know, the Highway 1 drive through that part of the state is magnificent. I have not spent a lot of time other than announcing football at San Luis when I was announcing Davis football at Cal Poly. I've only Santa Barbara is spectacular.
Yes.
If you're going that far south. It's one of the most picturesque, beautiful places on earth. So I would highly recommend going to Santa Barbara. I have not been to Pismo Beach, so I can't really comment on it. I know a lot of my friends have, but I have not. I have not spent a lot of time on the Central Coast, so I'm not really the right person to talk to about that.
I love the Central Coast. I just figured you would know like a good hole in the wall or something that I didn't know about already.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I would even consider Santa Barbara in that region. That's more Southern California. Would you consider that Central Coast?
I think Santa Barbara's closer to Southern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
So-
they would say if you were coming from LA to Santa Barbara, they would say slow is central, closer to north.
Yeah.
They'd say North Coast.
But I've heard great things about the Pismo Beach area and around there. So
Look at
that. And when are you going to do that?
The end of this month. Look at this. I live
Okay.
in San Luis Obispo. We're popping the YouTube chat. Madonna Inn at San Luis Obispo is spectacular. Yes, it is. Every room is different at the Madonna Inn. We are going to stay at the Hot Springs Resort for a couple of days. You ever heard about those, Grant?
I've heard about them, but don't know much about them.
Yeah, it's mineral water that's naturally heated by the earth. And they've got a nice little resort there. So, yeah, we're going to take a couple days off.
All right. We've got, said, Ryan, go to Hearst Castle. And then another one said Hearst Castle is awesome. So one back-to-back, one from the 916, one from the 209 says, go to the Hearst Castle.
Perfect.
So there you go. You can add that to your list, okay? You've got two back-to-back. Go to the Hearst Castle.
Hearst Castle. And then somebody else says, I told you to live here. They are going to give me some other suggestions. Yes, Hot Springs on Avila. That is where we're staying.
Well, I hope they have good weather.
I mean, it's always great down there. It's never.
No,
that
it's
bad.
not.
I think it is.
Not this time of year. You could get a big storm. That's not true. I mean, have you ever watched the Pebble Beach Pro-Am in February where sometimes it looks like you're playing in a monsoon, and that's not true. That's not true. It's not always good this time of the year. Not true.
Optimism.
Thank you for the Grant Napear weather update.
You're
Thank
welcome. Yeah, you're on it.
Yes. All right, 916-779-0929. I got Grant's rant coming up in a moment, and then my rant's going to be a little bit more than a moment, and then after that, we'll talk football with Sean Salisbury. I can't wait for all of that. The final hour of the show. Straight ahead. Football, basketball. Yeah, it's that time of year. Right here. The Grant Napear Show. Rolling right on with Grant's Rant next on Fox Sports Sacramento.
we've got great news for vehicle owners, regardless of what you drive, here at Downtown Ford Sacramento. For a limited time, bring your car or truck to Downtown Ford. We'll beat any major tire store's prices on a set of world-class Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. Then we'll kick you down an $80 mail-in rebate. And that goes for any car or truck you drive. You'll get the best deal anywhere on Michelin or BF Goodrich tires installed by our top-notch service team, plus an $80 rebate. That's how we operate here at Downtown Ford. We've been selling Fords for over 100 years, and we've learned some things. Rule number 1 is to put the customer first. Treat customers right, and they come back. That's our formula, and it's why we were chosen as a Car Guru's top dealership for 2025. We are Downtown Ford Sacramento. Come see us on Howe Avenue. Online at downtownfordsacramento.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. An elite defense is one of the biggest advantages in football. Pair that with a competent offense, and you have a Super Bowl recipe. After a 30-6 win over the Steelers last night, it appears the Texans are halfway towards completing that recipe. C.J. Stroud and the offense still a work in progress, but that defense is a nightmare. That puts the spotlight squarely on Stroud and the offense. Red zone interceptions, 5 fumbles, 2 lost fumbles in a single game simply can't happen in the playoffs. The defense is talented enough to cover for those mistakes, but only against a flawed Steelers team. Now, at a minimum, you're going to need a few timely explosive plays, ball security, smarter decisions in critical moments. The Texans defense is absolutely championship caliber. If the offense can provide even a semblance of consistency, they have a chance to go a long, long way. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of General tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan to see their General tire test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously, from their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over real applewood chips. Ordering is easy at heartlandsteakco.com. And right now, when you spend $199.99 or more, you'll get free shipping plus 2 pounds of bacon with promo code BACON. Taste the Heartland difference.
Grant Napear is back every weekday afternoon, 3 to 6. This is Fox Sports, KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
I've got a message for the Sacramento Kings. Do not come out and tell the fans, like Doug Christie does on the postgame shows, that you're trying to win games and then you don't play your best players. All right? It doesn't make sense. Malik Monk is one of your best players. How many times do we have to talk about this? How many times do the fans have to call up this show and on our YouTube show, our postgame shows, and ask, why isn't Malik playing? Jerry Reynolds, bewildered. He has a very simple philosophy, okay? If you're not playing your best players, you don't have as good of a chance to win. And when you lose good players, you are not going to be as good as a basketball team. The Malik Monk story this year has been beyond comprehension to me. And I don't feel I'm just speaking as one opinion. I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of Kings fans. A guy that wants to be here, loves Sacramento, and oh yeah, by the way, is a good player and is one of the Kings' best players. I mean, that's really not debatable. And as I said at the beginning of the show, if a new management comes in and they want to put their stamp on the team and they have a different viewpoint, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's life. That's pro sports. I'm okay. All of that. I'm okay with that. But how are we supposed to have faith in you building the team going forward if you feel that Malik Monk is not one of your better players? Like, how are we supposed to put confidence in you? I mean, all you got to do is watch Malik Monk play the last couple of games. And once again, you ask yourself, why has he not been on the floor? Why has he not been part of the rotation? Are you really trying to win games? If you're trying to win games, Monk needs to be on the floor. You know what this has been? And I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. And I don't know who's making the decision here. I don't know if it's the GM, Scott Perry. I don't know if it's the coach, Doug Christie. I don't know if it's a combination of the two. But here's what I do know. The decision to bury Malik Monk on the bench and humiliate him, okay? And now all of a sudden, he plays the last 3 games, and in the last 24 hours, he's the main reason why you beat the Rockets and why you beat the Lakers last night. Your decision to bury him on the bench this year, okay, is the same as malpractice if you're a physician. Because if Doug Christie and Scott Perry were physicians, if they were surgeons, if they were doctors, they'd be sued for malpractice. That's it. I'm speaking for the fans here, and I'm speaking for myself and a lot of other folks that know a lot about basketball. Again, if you want to come in as a new general manager and change things, that is your right. If you want to put a stamp on your team, that is your right. I've got no problem with that. But when you misevaluate and humiliate a player like Malik Monk and do what the Kings have done to him this year, and then come out on your postgame shows when you've got, for most of the season, the worst record in the West, and you look and tell the fans that you're trying to win games, and you don't have one of your best players on the floor, that is a bunch of nonsense. Disgraceful. It is an embarrassment. And that's my rant for today. And with that said, we make the transition to the one and only Sean Salisbury. Hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm well, Grant. How are you, my man?
I'm doing good. About 2 months ago, we talked at length about the Texans. I was really high on them because of the way they play defense. Sean, I've been watching football for about as long as you have, but you played it. I wasn't at your level. I think other than the Bears of 85 and the Ravens of 2000, the defensive performance that I saw last night and have been seeing is as good as any other than those two. And I really mean that. Their defense is so impressive, and it's old school, Sean. They put a hat on you. They're physical. They don't miss tackles. They can get to the quarterback with 4. They don't seem to me to have any weaknesses.
No, and that's the reason they've won, 10, 11 in a row.
Yep.
Think about this. 7 games into the season, they were done. They got good backup quarterback play. The defense has never wavered. And them losing, they may have given up a few big plays, but it wasn't because their defense didn't show up every week. You're exactly right. They feel like they're this season's 70s Steelers. You mentioned I'll give you the Giants in their Phil Simms days when Lawrence was on there that we played against. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles when Buddy Ryan or Bud Carson. You're talking about the Bears. Tampa Bay zone with Monty Kiffin, even though they didn't have they had the bodies, right? We knew you could name every guy, and even guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame, they're like household names. This is a defense that if you don't know them, you better get to know them. And Grant, if you looked up, well, what is the one trait that'll tell you personnel-wise why this team's even in another level? And I'm going to say something a little maybe odd. We usually judge defenses, I do, and build them inside out. That's probably in every sport, right, Grant? Pitcher, catcher, quarterback, middle linebacker. But I build defenses from the inside out. But on the Texans, watch their corners play against the run game and the screen game, Grant. To me, that's the identity. We know Danielle Hunter and Will Smith. I mean, they'll get after it. They're nasty everywhere. They don't have a weakness from back to front. Even their depth, and they've gotten more physical in the interior over the last 2 or 3 years with D'Amico, and they took it to another level. But watch Lassiter and watch Stingley play the run. Most corners, a matter of fact, you can name 9 out of 10 corners and maybe even 9.5 out of 10 corners want 0 contact. You know that. Every now and then you'll run into Rod Woodson, Ronnie Lott, when they were both corners before they moved to safety. Well, now you take a look at this team. Those dudes are going to come up and hit you like a safety does in a run game. And they preach it. So you don't just get to get the edge and dominate them. So to me, that's the idea. You talk about everything else supposed to be physical, low finesse corners. Well, they're both Pro Bowl caliber players and really, really good. But what defines them in my mind and say that's what makes them great is they tackle in the run game or in the screen game. They come up and thump you. So, yeah, I'm with you, Grant. Now their offense has got to step it up with more consistency and big
Did C.J.
playability.
Stroud
Even
look
though the
nervous to you last night?
Yeah, he's got to play like he did as a rookie. It was almost as if it's like, I really don't care. We're not very good. And then what happened? They won a division. And last year it took some hits, and I don't want to hear, well, last year still affected him. Then he's not the guy we think he is. And I know he's a player and can rip it, but there's still the turnovers. There's, center snaps, just bailing from the pocket. He's at his best relaxed. And I know you have a defense. You don't have to play stress. You got a defense that, as long as you don't give the other team the short field 3 times, you've got a defense that will bail you out even when you do make a mistake. So let it rip. Be smart. Do what you did with the football. If it's not there, then check it down or do something. But don't be afraid to take the shots that are necessary. And the line, while a little better, they still got to fix that. But they ran the ball effectively. The physical nature of the run game now, at least yesterday with Marks, what an ad he's been this year, and the defense. If you're an offense for the Texans, just be efficient and take your shots when they're there. Don't play scared. Just don't play stupid. That's a great Tom Moore phrase too. Don't play scared. Just don't play stupid. The great Tom Moore who just retired. He used to say that all the time. And it's the same about them. Let it go, man. It's going to be fine. And their defense is so good. That's what keeps them in it. But their offense can't continue to play inconsistent football because you will run into a quarterback that Josh Allen, that can beat your defense if he's having one of those days. So you've got to be more efficient offensively. But I'm with you. They are not just good. They are fantastic. And they embarrassed the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Sean Salisbury joining us here on Fox Sports Sacramento. Sean, Caleb Williams, I thought, had maybe the best throw of his career in the fourth quarter, 4th and 8, rolling out to his left, throwing across his body over the fingertips of a linebacker, a incredible pass to keep a drive going. How hard is that for a quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, rolling left, throwing across your body like that?
Well, and the thing about it is, too, Grant, on that scramble, if you're running parallel to the line of scrimmage like he was, and then he almost had to turn and face his shoulders, how are you getting any torque into the throw, right? Momentum, but the momentum was going towards the sideline as opposed to downhill, where, you're running downhill and the ball comes, it jumps out of your hand when you could square up your shoulders and become a run threat. He was scrambling, making a play. His chest was facing the receiver, and his shoulders were perpendicular to the line, so it's facing it. So he couldn't get that turn and torque and going to his left, and he didn't have time to load up and throw. It was just boop, boop, and out. And a little bit of momentum. I'll tell you how difficult it is. It's so difficult that we all try it. How many of them can get it there, but with accuracy and make the throw with velocity? It wasn't like some bloop shot that this guy got crushed for. It was a hell of a throw. But you know what's interesting, Grant, about him? Now, here, back up a little bit. He has got to start faster. If you spot him 14 points pregame, they may score 60. I mean, okay, with Ben Johnson and him. You can't keep doing this because you're not going to run into a careless, dumb team. At least it was when they played the Packers. I mean, somebody who plays crazy at the end and allows this to happen. They're not dumb IQ football-wise. They just played dumb. If you're going to run into quarterbacks who aren't going to turn it over to you, aren't going to give you enough possessions. So he's got to be more consistent at the start and be more accurate early. I'll say it again, Grant. I don't know if I've said it on your show. When Caleb Williams learns how to make the boring play all the time, you see the spectacular. What he did, you can't teach that. I've trained quarterbacks for 30 years. You cannot teach that. Ben Johnson didn't teach it. No matter where he's been, Lincoln Riley didn't teach it. That's the 6 or 8 plays a game or opportunities that a dude just does something. Mahomes has done it. Josh Allen does. You say, man, that's just DNA and great football skill. I cannot teach that. We can work on bad ball and scramble drills, but to get him in that position, say, make that throw and make it accurately. It's like, I'm not teaching. That's just a reaction in spectacular moments. I'll tell you, the only thing he's missing is he's got confidence now. You can see guys believe in him. He's already conquered this year, beat you late. He knows how to do that numerous times. It's just be boring. Bore me to death because you hit the ball in the fairway, you hit an iron to the middle of the green, you 2-putted and made a par and went home. Just be that guy. Yeah. Make that check to make me the boring play. When he does that, he'll be one of the best. As far as spectacular goes, Grant, every year or every week this year, I feel like we're saying the same thing. And it's not only with his inconsistent play, but how spectacular it is. He's the most gifted. Now, when I say this, it's not the best. Jimmy Mack, there's been Sid Lockwood if you're going back. He's the most gifted, talented quarterback the Bears have ever sniffed, talent-wise. Listen, I know Jimmy Mack's one of my best friends. Jimmy was a winner, and at that point, getting banged around and do it. But Caleb Williams, Jimmy can't do some of the things. Caleb could use a lesson from Jim, how to make this play, how to do this, how to study, all those things that Jim had. Caleb could use a lot of McMahon, but Jim didn't have the physical skill as he went on the NFL that Caleb got. Now, the success rate is different. I'm just talking about talent. There's never been a Bears quarterback that is more talented than the guy they got now. That can do stuff that the other cats just haven't been able to do. So for me, but I say it every week, he made a throw earlier. Remember the one, Grant, we talked about it, going to his right about 4 weeks ago, to the back of the end zone on the game winner that went through a guy who just, we said, how did he fit that in? You can't make that throw. Most guys wouldn't attempt it. It's happened again, and it happens again. So most of us aren't dumb enough to try that throw in a game. And if we do, the coach yells, don't do. Oh, great throw if you ever make it like Caleb did. Over there saying, hey, man, I've done some stupid stuff in games before, and I made one. Grant, I was scrambling to my left, and I couldn't get my shoulders, just like Caleb Williams, but I couldn't get my shoulders turned to throw it. And Hassan Jones was running a broken route coming back, and he was running to my right while I was going to my left. He was about 12 to 15 yards away. And I couldn't square my shoulders because I was being chased down. I flipped an underhand like you would an option pitch about 12 yards to Hassan Jones, going the other way like two ships crossing in the night. Completed it, first down. I go over to the sideline, and my coach says, that was a great play, but don't ever do it again. So I because it's one of those like, dude, you're not going to keep trying that, are you? Don't get carried away. So, but I think, I know we've spent a lot of time on the Bears, but Grant, I just think as long as they got to toughen up on defense, and they got to probably play more pressure. And you saw Dennis Allen do that, but they weren't very good against man. But if they'll run it efficiently, and he makes scoring plays, and with their spectacular start faster, they can still disrupt this. I don't know if they're done. I really don't. Don't let them have the ball late if you're the opponent. I'm just telling you.
Sean, you were in a lot of situations where you were around great coaches, whether it was USC or your NFL career, but you were also in situations that you probably wouldn't say that. I talk about San Francisco and what Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh have done. How big of a difference is coaching in the NFL?
Well, I say this, and both can win or lose it, that players win games and coaches lose them. How many times have you seen it, Grant? How many guys, just 6 times going through it on 4th down? Now, when I say that, it's a semi-hyperbolic because, well, if you've got a guy wide open in the end zone, you throw it 15 yards over the guy's head, that ain't on the coach, right? Brian Billick never, Tom Moore, or Danny Green never threw a ball when I dropped in the pocket. It was never their fault. That's always mine. I got to say, even if it was a bad call or a good call, that ball's in my hand. So, coaching matters. We think coaching in the college to high school level is more impactful. And maybe it is on the individual just because they're listening more, they're shaping their career. Egos get bigger and you think you know it all as you get older. But that ties into this. The best coaches, they do matter because they put you in situations. They don't make excuses for adversity like the injuries. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares in the end. Coach Denny used to say this. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're late. Nobody cares your team meal was cold. They don't care. And it's the same here. Other people don't feel sorry for you. But the great coaches do those things. They elevate the room. They know how to work with third-string quarterback. Now, you may not always win them, but they just know how to stay the course and deal with the stuff we ask players to deal with. And still have that line where I'm your coach, not your best friend, which I think you have to have, and that's part of the respect earned, but it does matter. And I think Kyle Shanahan and Robert's on the staff. But we shouldn't be shocked by this. This is like 49er lore. They've been doing this with coaching staffs forever, even with ownership change or front office change, and they bring good people in. It's just a great organization, and Kyle and John together, Lynch, has been spectacular. But the great ones don't allow the distraction. Hey, you're on your 4th linebacker. Yeah, he won't make an excuse for Kittle. I mean, you're on your 3rd tight end or what? Yeah, I know. Well, we don't have Ayuk, so Jennings step up. I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? You still got this. The game's not getting canceled. They're going to play it. whether you got 7 tight ends hurt or 4 quarters, we're playing the game. And I think that approach is important. And while it's not fun and you're not going to win them all, and Kyle takes flack for not closing out games, that's probably his, that's the biggest roadblock for him now. But what he's done personnel-wise, there's somebody else may win Coach of the Year, and I understand Liam Cohen and what he did in Vrabel, but nobody's done a better job in 2025 than Kyle Shanahan, considering, because most teams would not be in the playoffs after what happened to them usually.
Sean, if Indiana beats Miami on Monday night, would you say that this might be the biggest turnaround in the history of college football and maybe the biggest story that we've seen? Because what's going on has been truly unbelievable.
Yeah, how is it, and how is it not? I mean, I know we sometimes say that and look back and say, oh, yeah, 1975, they did this, or 1985. But as I'm sitting here thinking just off the top of my head, think what we're talking about. Grant and I know they got, and here they're smart, they got the average age, and Cignetti's not an idiot, with the way the rules are set up. The average age on Indiana's football team is almost just under 24 years old. That's the age of some NFL team, but that's not a negative thing. But you've taken that's a smart thing in the landscape. I just point that out. And they've got, when they were recruited, I think 7 or 8 of their players were 4-star, 5-star players that when they were recruited that are now on their roster, regardless. Do you know that they're going to fall short of the Alabamas and those guys by 40 or 50? Miami's probably in the last couple of years had 25 5-star guys. My point is that they're doing it because they get buy-in. Signetti is, he knows what Saban teaches. That's not a bad tree pretty good coaching tree. And he has made it to where you have to have buy-in, but he gets guys to do stuff that others wouldn't have given him a chance to do, or they never believed. And he is a trust guy. And what I mean by that is that not only does he expect it and earn it, but he gives it. You can tell he puts the ball in the quarterback's hand. Oh, we don't need to throw it 30 times. We're running the ball. And look what he's done with a bunch of, name me 5 defenders on Indiana's team. You can't. That's why.
Great point.
Even we got to look at the roster. Name me 5. Now I want you to name me 4 players on the offensive side of the ball. Now, what's the head coach's name? You get my point? He is. and he does the ego. Right. He just is. And he just keeps getting them to kick. And you know what he is? It's like, I feel like it's like a bunch of guys that have a wrestler mentality. We're going to sweat it out. We're going to celebrate in silence. And we'll celebrate loud when it's me. Like, get a beer, like he said. But we're going to work in silence. Everybody's going to tell us we're a basketball school. And Grant, to go back what you said about the greatest turnaround, he's done it with 2 quarterbacks in 2 years. Neither one of them have started 2 years for this team. A transfer guy from Cal, and he's done it with a bunch of non-stars, but got veterans. And here's the big key: is he still had to overcome, as good as Kentucky's played and Duke has played football-wise and gotten better over the years. What are they still? But unequivocally, right now, the big shot Duke's still a basketball school. Kentucky's still a basketball school. But both programs have gotten better at Duke with good coaching and at Kentucky. But now look at this. When I say Indiana, Bob Knight, national, and I get it. And it's only been 2 years, but they've been in the playoffs twice, and now they're playing the national title. And they are the best team in the country, regardless up and down, because they've beaten good teams, bad teams. And the last 6 weeks, they've hammered everybody. They're beating everybody's brains in.
Yep.
And so for me, to overcome that and to know that when he walks on campus, they're still old school. But Signetti, they don't have to bow their head to the basketball program at Assembly Hall, although I get why they would, the respect. But you no longer, you don't have to apologize. Well, it's okay. It's only a 2-year run. You don't do this by chance against all this parity and all these great teams and recruiting. So, Grant, I'll tell you, I'm not going to argue. I think there's never been a turnaround where you go from 4 wins to 9 and make a playoff maybe, or a bowl game on January 1, old school. But to do this and to get the back-to-back playoffs after 4 years ago, we're thinking about Antoine Randall and Cam Cameron when we talk about Indiana football.
Yep.
And now we're looking at them, and they are nasty. They are friggin' nasty when it comes to hitting you. Yeah. But Miami's going to show up and play. This will be a good game. But it's as good a turnaround as you'll see. And I'd like to follow Signetti around for a week and watch how he does this. I swear I would. Coach in meetings. I just like to follow him. I don't want to. I just want to watch him do his thing because what he's doing is unique. I feel like he coaches like a walk-on would play, and that's important. I love that.
How's the show on YouTube, Unpaved, going for you?
Going great, Grant. And I don't mean to use up so much of your time. It's going great. It's, we continue to grow it, and we get great people and great interaction. And I love it because it's, you're your own boss, and you kind of get to do what you do. I got a great crew. I'm just, I'm only as good as they are. And I know that sounds cheesy, but production crew. So we're having a blast, and it's gaining really good traction. I think what we've done in a year, some sports shows would take 3 or 4, not because of me, just because it's good timing. I think people want honesty without the hot take slop that you'd say, or making it about, all the stuff that people do now. So I think we appreciate getting back to explain sports to me, tell me why, have some fun, don't take yourself too serious, involve the fans and the listeners, and give them good friggin' content without being a coward about it because you're mad that somebody disagreed with you. That's what my show is, and that's how I always operate.
Yep. Appreciate you, Sean. Talk to you next week, buddy. Take care. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
brother. I appreciate you. Thanks for your time.
That's Sean Salisbury, each and every week right here. We'll open up the phone lines at 916-779-0929. I want to tell you about DAS Mechanical. Love talking about Nick Delancey and what he does at DAS. And I learned a couple of months ago that most homeowners are now changing their heating and air systems from gas to all electric. Bottom line, it's about getting more energy efficiency and saving a lot more every month on your energy bills. Now, if your current heating and air system is 15 years or older, you know what? 2026 may be the time for you to consider a change. Call DAS Mechanical first. Nearly all of DAS's work is gas to electric, whole system changeouts. Nick and his team, they're experts. They are awesome at this. They also have 0% financing and 24/7 availability if you ever happen to have a heating emergency. Award-winning, locally owned, family-owned DAS Mechanical, serving their Sacramento and Placer County neighbors. Just go to dasmechanical.org. Check out all of their 5-star reviews, their numerous best of the best awards, and schedule everything online. That's D as in dog, A, S as in Sam, mechanical.org. Yeah, we've got a lot going on in the final 2 segments. 916-779-0929. Give me a call. Hit me up on the text line right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Hi, it's Margot from Bennett's Restaurants. At Bennett's, it's all about bold flavors and fresh handcrafted food served with genuine hospitality. Craving prime hand-cut steaks? We've got them. Fresh salmon, halibut, or giant Mexican prawns? We've got those too. At Bennett's, we serve premium seafood and steaks in a relaxed setting. Whether you're joining us for a special night out or a casual bite, we'll treat you like family every time. Find us in Sacramento, Roseville, and Rockland. View our menus and make a reservation at bennettsrestaurants.com.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Always good to have Sean Salisbury on. Mike Brown and the New York Knicks are in town for a game tomorrow. But the Kings playing right now very confident basketball, beating the Rockets and the Lakers back-to-back. And we've got some more sound from last night, Rhino.
Yeah, we do. Before we get to it, does Mike Brown get a tribute video?
You know, he should. He was the unanimous coach of the year for the first time in NBA history. So, yeah, I would give him that. Absolutely.
Took the team to the playoffs, first time in 16 years.
I would.
Yeah, I think he deserves one too. That's going to be I wonder what Mike Brown is feeling. He's so focused probably on what he's doing in New York, but how much respect do you have for a coach that goes from Vivek to what he's dealing now with in New York with Jeffrey Dolan?
You know, he's making $10 million a year, so I don't think he really cares who he's working for.
Okay.
Let's just call it the way it is. He signed a $40 million deal. I don't think he cares who his owner is. The reality is he knew what the pressure would be. By the way, I don't know if you're aware of this, but James Dolan, well, I know you are aware of this, but I'm really talking to my audience as opposed to you, that James Dolan went on WFAN radio last week, the big sports station in New York, the day that the Knicks were playing the Detroit Pistons in Motown, which, by the way, they got blown out. It was the worst loss of the year. And basically said this team needs to be in the NBA Finals and he expects them to be in the NBA Finals. And Mike Brown knew what he signed up for. They are currently second in the East at 25-14. Not playing great, though. They've only won 5 of their last 10. They're not really good on the road. They're great in New York at the Garden. They're 16-4. But on the road, they're only 8-10. So I'm not sure what you're going to get tomorrow. But as far as Mike Brown goes, listen, he's got $40 million guaranteed dollars. He's just fine who he works for. But you are right. You could say that he's worked in back-to-back jobs with 2 of the worst owners in the league. I don't think that would be a stretch.
Yeah, you know what? I did listen to some of that with Craig Carton, and it was interesting how he laid out that the Knicks wanted more collaboration. And I just found that to be a fun point. Doug Christie last night, though, laid out the fact that the Kings were shooting the 3-ball tremendously. Malik Monk with 7 of them. In fact, 10 came from the bench. Here's what Doug saw.
Most times you either touch the paint, you cause a double team. There's a way, pick and roll causes help. You spray the basketball, offensive rebound. We didn't do that as well tonight, only 6. But so, if we're getting downhill and we're making sure that we're touching the paint, collapsing, and we're spraying it out, that's usually it. Debo is the one guy that, they have to look for him and his ability to kick the ball out. And then, that one more pass on the backside, sometimes we hit it, sometimes we miss it. But those are the special things that allow you to get not only looks, but good looks. And the better the look, the more, good chance that you have to shoot a better percentage. And I thought a lot of our shot quality was very high.
Yeah, I thought the shot quality was very high, too. They had really good looks, and they made the majority of those shots. And it's interesting, on nights when the ball is falling, the game can look so easy.
No doubt about it. But the offense did look a lot different with Malik Monk. There was a lot more motion than you normally see, second game in a row. It's funny because Doug has strayed away. He's kind of drawn a line in the sand during times with us about saying sprays or referring to certain things that were being ran under Mike Brown, but now he's going back to sprays. So that was an interesting one to me. Also, Malik Monk last night talked about the other impacts that you're getting from the young guys in Dylan Cardwell and Max Reynaud.
Just knowing guys not going to go in there and especially with Dylan, he gonna foul you. Not going in there with a free mind thinking they can get a layup. And Maxie been fouling a little bit too. So they learning the game, man. it's good to see them learn a game like this as quickly as they learn it too. It's hard to pick up on this game, but it's great to you can know you can pressure the ball and have somebody have your back, man. I think you play a little bit better on the ball when you know you got somebody back there.
Again, the Kings back-to-back wins against the Rockets and the Lakers, and tomorrow it is the New York Knicks. Jerry Reynolds, Ryan, and myself will be on right after the game on YouTube. Looking forward to that as the Kings will look for 3 wins in a row against, again, a Knicks team that's very, very good at home and not very good on the road, a losing record on the road at 8-10, but overall they are 25-14. The surprise team in the East, really, to me, is the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you look at no Tatum, no Porzingis, they made the move. Obviously, they moved away from Drew Holiday. They're 24-15. I mean, they're having a really good year.
Yeah, they're playing good basketball. They're shooting a lot of threes, which is always been part of their game, but they're efficient. They spread the ball out. They're kind of playing similar, Grant, to Atlanta when Atlanta was on that run.
How many teams in the NBA don't shoot a lot of threes now? Aren't we looking at most of the teams that the three is a prolific part of their offense?
You know, I think it's becoming, sounds crazy because there's still a ton of them, but off my eye test, top of the head, the 3 ball is down a little bit over the last, at least this season, and I think a little bit towards the second half of last season as well. Teams are going double big at times, and you're seeing some more points in the paint, which to me, and I know Jerry Reynolds, is refreshing.
In the West, meanwhile, Oklahoma City setting the pace at 33-7, and then a real tight race for 2nd through 6th from 12 losses to 15 losses, being San Antonio with 12 losses, Denver with 13, Minnesota and the Lakers with 14, and Phoenix with 15. The the Rockets, by the way, have 14 losses, which is 1 less than Phoenix, but they have 2 fewer wins. So therefore, currently they are in 7th. And then, you look at the Clippers, who all of a sudden have won 8 of 10, and they're only a game back of the play-in spot where Memphis. But what's going on with the Clippers, who all of a sudden have won 3 in a row and 8 of 10?
They're the Kings of last year. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing some of the things like getting to the free throw line well. Some nights you have very good performances from your stars. They're still a negative net rating, though, Grant. Negative 1.2. 1.4, excuse me.
Yeah, 1.4, but they got off to such a horrible start, right? So,
yeah,
we'll see. The Kings, by the way, right now, the 2nd worst record in the West. New Orleans can see them all at 9-32. The Kings are 10-30, and there's only one team in the East that's worse than that. That's Indiana at 9-31. And how about the Pacers? They've won 3 in a row.
Catching some tread. I like it.
Yeah. You know what? They have a really good coach, boy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He can cook with any type of groceries that you bring him. He will make something good. And Rick Carlisle, one thing again that has been really good for the Kings and has led to some of these good 3-point opportunities is the pace. Malik spoke about that last night.
That's a high percentage right there. Sheesh. If I go 7 for 9 all the time, we'll be all right. I think that's how we do it. Russ go 4 for 8. Zach go 3 for 4. We'll be all right. But yeah, it was just us moving the ball more, sharing it more, moving a little, going in the pace with our actions, and that just opened everything else up for it.
All right, so the Kings playing very well. Again, the Knicks tomorrow. A couple of games going on in the NBA right now. Miami leads Phoenix in South Florida 69-52. Houston is at home to Chicago, opening up a 5-game homestand, not playing well, losing 4 of 5. They lead 29-24 at the end of one. Bucks and Timberwolves playing in Milwaukee. It is all Minnesota. They are crunching the Bucks. At the end of one quarter, it's 38-20 T-Wolves. Denver and New Orleans separated by a point early second. Oklahoma City and San Antonio playing for the final time this year. How about that? The Spurs have won all 3 meetings, and here we are. The game in OKC, 25-24, 90 seconds left. I got to believe this is a big game for Oklahoma City, even though it's January. They got to show themselves that they can beat San Antonio because they might have to beat them in the playoffs.
100%. You are spot on. Get the monkey off your back. And it would be good not just to beat them, but to beat them. Know that you have a formula.
And then you have Atlanta taking on the Lakers, who all of a sudden have lost 3 in a row. And the Lakers did not look good last night. And, of course, we're hearing about who's playing, who's not playing. And LeBron James, Luka Doncic, from what I understand, are game time decisions. I got to believe that they won't play.
You have a better chance probably of LeBron playing than Luka. Would you
But he
agree
hasn't
with
played
that?
in a back-to-back all year. He
Oh,
has
you
not
know
played
what?
on both ends of a back-to-back this season
It's
yet.
a good point. It's a good point.
Not once. Hasn't done it.
Well, Grant, he's gotta wear that patch one more game so they can put it on a card.
Oh,
You know,
there you have it.
He's got to get
Yes.
that in while they've got
Yes.
the patch on the uniforms.
That's a very, very, very good point. I'll tell you what else is a good point. Getting somebody to take care of your real estate needs that is very experienced and a specialist and will do a phenomenal job for you. That's Spencer at Village Financial Group. I've known him since 2000 when he began his family-owned business. You buying a home in 2026? Are you selling a home this year? How about a home equity line of credit? Whatever your needs are, Spence is a very creative financing specialist, and he has access to private money. Give him a call or, hey, shoot him a text at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Many, many properties available. They have over 9,000 that you can look at currently on their website at vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. We'll wrap up the show when we come back. Final segment on a busy Tuesday right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Are your lights flickering more than a disco ball? Tired of your office coffee maker and server room fighting over that one working outlet? Call the pros who keep the juice flowing. Elite Power Inc. Elite Power Inc. is the commercial and industrial electrical contractor who takes your power and lighting seriously so you don't have to. Elite Power Inc. handles everything from rewiring ancient office buildings to installing cutting-edge control panels in factories. Their IBEW 340 electricians have more certifications than your printer has error messages. And they promise not to judge your breaker panel's creative labeling. Get plugged in with Elite Power Inc., where sparks fly, but only in a good way. Professionally trained technicians, 24-hour electrical service, maintenance, and repair. Project estimating, the knowledge and skill for any commercial or industrial need. Call 916-739-1580. That's 916-739-1580, or go to elitepower.com.
Tired of the same old routine? Need a place where the beer flows and the good times roll? Then head to Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Family owned and operated, so you know you'll feel right at home. Catch all your favorite games on 18 big screens while enjoying amazing food. And with 28 beers on tap, you're sure to find something you love. And don't miss everyday happy hour from 3 to 7 and again from 10 till close. Looking for more than just the game? Trivia Tuesday starts at 7 p.m. And there's Mario Kart and bingo nights for even more fun, too. There's always a blast happening at Fieldhouse. Whether you're looking for a place to watch the game, grab a bite with the family, or just unwind with friends, Fieldhouse is the place to be. Fieldhouse American Sports Pub, 1833 Fulton Avenue. Bring it to the house.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Final segment, Tuesday. Grant Napear, Fox Sports Sacramento. I'll be on at 7 o'clock tonight over on YouTube if you don't like that. Looking forward to it. Why don't we say hello to Lynn? Hello, Lynn. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Grant. Good show as always, man. I always
Thank you.
appreciate it. Hey, I want to talk. I haven't talked too much about Spurs in a while. But where do you think where they are at? Do you think they're farther ahead this year than you thought they were? Or what?
Absolutely. I didn't think they were going to be anywhere near where they were this year. I'm blown away at how well they've been. I mean, they're second in the West. They're 27-12.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing great right now. I mean, I think I think they've won 5 of their last 10. So in their last 10, they've only been playing 500. But what I do like about them, they're good at home and they're good on the road. You know, they're 13-5 at home. They're 13-7 on the road. And I like that mix. And they're also really good within their division. They've only lost 1 game out of 8 in their division. So there's a lot to like about them.
The one thing is, everybody talks about Victor, but man, they have some other great pieces besides Victor. I like that kid Harper. Vassal's good. And man, what about the old reliable power forward that got shipped to us from Sacramento, man? That dude is like a beast. He's like great locker room guy, man.
He's the best
in there still. Be interesting to see what happens with him at the end of the year.
Yeah, listen. If I'm the Spurs, I got to keep Harrison Barnes. He just does so much for your team. But I mean, when you look at Castle, you know, when you look at Wemby, you look at Fox, Vassal's out right now. But I mean, they got a chance. They're ahead of schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah, they've been. I mean, I haven't been following them since the Big Three left. I've been kind of keeping an eye on it. I mean, I don't watch the sports like I used to when I was younger, and being that loudmouth Spurs fan on the other radio station. As I get older, I try to do things to make my wife happy, so I kind of cut the sports down a lot. But it's going to be interesting to see how good they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm always checking out the highlights, the full game highlights at work at lunch, so I try to stay up that way.
But see, you just made your wife happy. You just made your wife happy with a great trip to Europe. Now take some time for yourself and do what Lynn wants.
Yeah, I got some plans coming up. Actually, I got a trip in the pipe. We're celebrating our 35th anniversary this year. And
congratulations.
30th birthday.
Wow.
So we are going to Iceland. So my son works in D.C., and my wife went and visited him back when the eclipse was here, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he wanted to go do an eclipse trip. So we found out Iceland has a full eclipse. And I got onto a cruise boat. So we're going to check that out for our anniversary and his birthday in August of this year. So that is my next big adventure.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not cloudy. I hope it's not cloudy. I hope it's a beautiful evening or day, and you'll be able to see it.
that's the reason why I book a cruise, because if you go that far and you want to go see and it's cloudy, you better have something else fun to do too. And that's why I did the cruise.
Good for you. Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
All right, Grant. Always enjoy your show. Take care.
All right, you too, Lynn. Appreciate it. Never been to Iceland. Flown over it a number of times. I've never been there. I wouldn't mind checking out Iceland.
Lynn doesn't sound like 30th or 35th anniversary.
No.
He has a son who's 30.
No.
He does not.
No, he
Good
does
for
not.
him. Good for him. Talking about the San Antonio Kings, by the way, for those that were wondering.
Yes.
Get it? Because everybody calls the Kings
Yes.
the Bulls.
Understand.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in second place in the West. And again, I think this game for Oklahoma City tonight, this is like, I don't want to say a playoff game, but it's huge for them. And again, the updated score, early second quarter, they lead by the score of 32-30. So close game. And we'll see if the Thunder can break through and finally win a game against the Spurs. Timberwolves destroying the Bucks. They're now up 24 points with 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
If you're the
They're destroying them.
if you're the Thunder and you lose this game, are you thinking about making a move?
It's a great question. You might. I mean, Sam Presti is the best GM in basketball. And, I mean, it's hard to say you would want to make a move if you are 33-8. But what's this league about? It's about matchups, right?
Yeah.
And if you feel that your deficiency is in one particular matchup and you have the assets, and they do, to go out and get that, maybe you do. They got a lot of draft capital. They've got a lot at their disposal. But, what do you think they would need? What are we talking about here?
It's a great question. I think they would probably need a 3-and-D defender on the wing, because you're good and you're physical, but Dort, he's smaller, right? You've got Jalen Williams, who is really, you got two of Jalen Williams's.
Yeah, and they're playing tonight without Dort and without Hartenstein. So, I mean, they're missing two key guys in this game. Of course, Vassal's out for San Antonio.
You know what you need? You need that, and I know Williams, since coming back, struggling a little bit.
Not been very good.
He has not been very good. You need that second score to take the attention, like legitimate score off of SGA. Veteran score.
We'll see how this game goes tonight. But right now, it is a tight game. Hey, if you missed the first hour of the show, we will replay it coming up here in a couple of moments at the 6 o'clock hour. I'll be on YouTube coming up at 7 o'clock, back here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And, of course, the post-game show, Jerry, who's got the internet problems, I think all worked out, will be on the post-game show tomorrow after the Kings and the New York Knicks. So a busy middle of the week coming up for you tomorrow. By the way, if you're just tuning in, the good sport, Jahil, did I say her name right? I keep forgetting.
Rahil.
Rahil, I'm sorry. Rahil, I apologize, Rahil. I know you're probably still listening, and I'm an idiot. I'm terrible with names, and so forgive me. Rahil was a good sport, and she did call up last hour, even though, she kept on staying to her mantra about Houston's not very good, and they're not this, and they're not that. But they were pretty good last night. They dominated the Steelers and basically shut them down, and now they go on to New England. Now, I just wonder if Rahil would change her opinion if they go in and beat New England. What do you think, Rhino?
Nope, I think she's gonna find a way to fight back. That's what I like about her. She'll hang on to something.
Somebody said, Grant, it would be awesome if you could interview Greg Papa on your show sometimes. He had quite a journey fighting cancer. He still has the journey, and I think about him often. I was so happy that he had a chance to, be in the booth for the Seahawks game. And I have been thinking about him from the day that he was diagnosed or he made public his battle with cancer. I have watched some of the interviews that he has done. I have not reached out to him. And one of the reasons is I know he's getting completely hit up from all sides. And so I've given him his space. He knows how I feel about him. I've known him for a long time. I think there's mutual respect between us. I know I have an immense respect for him. So I think about him often. But thank you for that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And we're all praying for him. The game tomorrow will be interesting. We'll break it down in the show. All right. So I didn't ask you because I did my rant and then we had Sean Salisbury and we moved on. Is there anything that I mentioned in my rant that you want to take exception to that you don't agree with? Because if you do, I'd love to hear it.
The only thing that I would take exception to is they've laid out this, we just want to play hard, right? And you can take that a couple of different directions. You can interpret it as you may, but if you're playing to win every game, then your rant's spot on. And I'm not saying the Kings aren't playing to win. I just think that they're playing certain players for different reasons. At the
All
amount
right, so
of
let me ask you a question as you lay that out before you move on. Have you ever, or do you remember watching Malik Monk playing a game or a stint where you said, God, Malik's not trying, he's not playing hard, he's not competing?
Never. Not once.
All right. So so that box on the 6 criteria, the 6 whatever principles, check. Competitiveness. That he's always there.
Yes.
Okay. I've never had an issue with Malik Monk and his approach to the game. He might not always play well, but I mean, some of the greatest players in basketball sometimes don't play well. I'm okay with not playing well. I've never once questioned the guy's effort or his competitiveness level.
No, or when the cameras and the media is not around. Like, he's the same guy. He's so important to the balance of that locker room right now. You know who's probably, and I can't say because I'm not in the locker room, but you know how they say, well, you don't want your rookies to get tainted and be around losing.
Yeah.
You know the guy that's plugging into them right now? Because Malik said it 2 nights in a row. It's Malik freaking Monk.
Yep.
When I wasn't playing, I was spending time with the rookies, keeping them up. Anything they're messing up on, I'm pointing it out. He's just that good at it.
I know. And you're pushing him out the door. Why?
For $8 million?
Why?
$7 million?
Come on. It's unbelievable. I mean, it really is.
But that's the thing. You just nailed it. Pushing him out the door. Have you already, by default, made that decision with the Schroeder money for 3 years? That lines up pretty much perfectly with Malik's contract and the option.
I was trying to be Keon Ellis there.
You mean the best in all of?
Yes, that's what I just did there. I was trying to be Keon. You didn't catch it, so I did that on purpose. Wow. I would say I don't know what's going on, and we're going to find out a lot because the trade deadline is on the 5th of next month. So we're right around the corner. What is today, the 13th? So we're talking a little more than 3 weeks. A little more than 3 weeks, we're going to know. I got to believe Malik Monk's not going to be on the roster the 6th of February. They tried to move him this summer. They tried to move him in camp based on everything we were hearing. I think that he has been the topic of conversation. So we'll find out in a little more than 3 weeks. Hey, my thanks to Sean Salisbury today. My thanks to Rahil for being a really good sport and calling from the nation's capital, keeping her word. I love callers that keep their word. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Hey, I'm wrong sometimes. I got to come back to work the next day and come on the radio. If you're a caller and you go crazy and you're wrong, you got to call up and say you were wrong. Now, she didn't really say she was wrong, but she still called the show. I respect that. Thank you for your support. I'm going to be back with you in an hour over on YouTube. For Rhino in Sacktown, Grant Napear. Talk to you tomorrow at 3 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
The new year is here, a fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear, and they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
If 2026 is the year that you become the very best version of you, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center welcomes you. SAC Naturopathic Medical Center is in the business of helping you live your best life every day, regardless of your age. As we get older, it's normal to experience things like a loss of energy, maybe even some occasional brain fog, or not feeling motivated to do things. We may also experience a loss of libido, or ED. It's normal as we get older and usually easy to treat. Dr. Dennis Godby is an accomplished author and a national healthy aging advocate. When he's not busy practicing medicine, this doctor, who is knocking on the door of 70 years young, does solo marathon hikes across the United States on foot to promote quality health care. When it comes to aging gracefully, Dr. Godby literally walks the talk. Schedule your free healthy aging consultation today at gettingbetternow.com.
Hi, it's Margot from Bennett's Restaurants. Looking for the best happy hour in town? Head to Bennett's, where every day from 2 to 6, you'll find flavor, fun, and serious value. Enjoy over 10 wines by the glass, country club style cocktails like lemon drops, skinny margaritas, and crave-worthy share plates. Short rib tacos, chicken wings, calamari, and more, starting at just $6. It's upscale without the uptight. 3 locations: Roseville, Rockland, and Sacramento. Join us today or check out the menu at bennettsrestaurants.com.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text,